than expected. But luckily, but at least now we have a new expanded view of the universe. Some of us are bigger than the others, and some of us are more on top than the others, which is as should be.
I prefer to be on the bottom, but that's a comfort thing.
Yeah, luckily you are on the bottom.
No comment.
I so much want to comment. All right. Well, welcome. Hello, everybody. Let's do the mic test just to make sure everybody's good.
And if you don't get my joke, that's just purely for adults.
Yes, ask your
Hello.
parents if
My
you
name
didn't
is
get
not
that
Mike.
joke.
Oh, okay. No.
And if they say they don't know what I'm referring to, they're lying to you.
You know what? I don't know that I like that. I think I liked the picture with me covering over where it says Dungeons and Dragons.
I can move you there?
Yeah, it makes you guys, it zooms in on you guys nicely.
Yeah, but
that's too much work. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it's not too much work. I can literally do it by moving things around. But on the other hand, having you on top and being the largest is the best option because you have the best expressions.
All right, we'll do that then. We'll keep it like it is. Plus, it's too much work to do it on stream. Hey, everybody, how we doing? Professionals as always here. Just kings of last minute shenanigans.
Yes,
let's go quickly through the news.
We're just ironing out Carlos's kinks.
So many kinks, guys. So many kinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for another website, Carlos.
Yes, follow us on Carlos's OnlyFans.
Oh boy, no, stop. You have to stop.
I will refuse to do such things.
Right.
Nobody wants to see that.
Carlos is opening all the doors because he is the king key.
Oh boy, nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. If people are wondering what we're trying to do is we have a challenge with ourselves. We're trying to see if we can get Carlos's red as Sim's shirt there.
You guys about to make me press the big red button.
Oh my god.
Shuts everything down.
Honestly, yeah, it's actually super easy to do. I get embarrassed very quickly. In fact, just like, let's see, all you have to do is go, oh my god. All right, back to normal.
Oops, I forgot to change
but we
the
don't
chapter.
need mechanical means.
It
Yeah, I know
still
what you
says
meant.
chapter 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be chapter 2, Vasselheim. So it's Vasselheim part of chapter 2. It's the second
All
part of
right,
chapter
so
Actually, chapter 3.
No,
This will be corrected when it goes on YouTube.
no, it won't.
we are at chapter 3.
Okay, bye.
All right, that's been resolved. So, news from last week. Anything cool, new, interesting happened, y'all?
Well, I heard we know a movie star.
TV star, technically. And it won't be for another year and a half or some.
So a future movie star. Even better.
I yesterday I did a thing. I signed up for to be on TV, and I played a minor, an active role.
Aren't
minor.
you too old to play a minor?
We'll fix it in post. Don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
I'm about to say that's he's had a tough life. He looks like he's 40. Yeah, he started smoking when he was 6, and he was into the alcohol when he was 4.
So there's this show, the Girl in the Woods, starring Kristen Ritter. I think the girl who played Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All
cool.
right, okay.
So Jessica Jones got a new TV show from NBC, otherwise known as Peacock. I'm fucking up all my NDAs right now. Come after me, NBC. I fucking dare you. Come after me. Anyways,
You say that, but they probably will.
It's cool.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, go. Have fun trying to find Carlos Santana on the internet. I'm sure.
I think it's more
All they need to
as long as
do-
he doesn't review the entire plot lines.
All they need to
Girl
do
in-
is to
yeah.
find your name on the NDA agreements.
Girl in the Woods, Peacock orders supernatural drama based on Crypt TV IP. Kristen Ritter to direct.
So
There you go.
you have
Google it.
revealed
Just Google it.
no secrets.
Right, don't prove their case for them.
I'm just saying
Except-
If
He
he's
didn't
reading
say
it off the
anything.
internet,
I just read it off the internet. It's on Google. It's fine.
It's
Except
fine.
that
This-
now we know that there's a minor in it.
Yeah, there's a mining episode. So it starts off with like there's gonna be a slow camera zoom through the mine shaft itself. They're gonna.
I will say technically because he's on our channel, they can sue us too.
Fantastic. So they cut in. They're like, "What are you looking at?" And these miners like, "We got found it, boys. This will make us rich." And they're pulling like an artifact out of the ground. So they're mining for coal, whatever have you, and it's all dirty. And there's tons of people working in the background. And we pull out this.
Can't find me now.
And
thank you for ruining my setup there.
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
But you know the worst part about it is that
Now I'm Director Carlos.
if you Google my name, I am the first one that comes up on Google. I am like all over the internet. I cannot hide anywhere.
Fuck.
So I will give you up, Carlos. I will give you up. Is all I'm saying.
God damn it.
Come find me.
Thank you. Thank you
loyalty.
again for ruining my setup.
You're welcome. Should I turn it off again?
Don't worry.
I will kill you.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant the setup, as in you were gonna do the exact same joke. Never mind. Anyways, so I got to be a background actor in it. It's something I've been wanting to do. It was like, oh, that sounds fun. I love television. I love movies. I love story. Let's go see what it's like on the other side of the screen. And luckily, since yesterday was one of the hottest, this is gonna be the hottest weekend on record in Portland. There's advisory warnings like everybody stay the fucking doors. Do not go outside. Turn all your ACs to hot, so that power can regulate. It doesn't matter. Luckily, it was all indoor stage set because we're inside of a mine, so it was nice and cool. Air conditioning. They gave us fucking craft food works. Delish. Got to meet a couple. Didn't get to really meet any celebs, I don't think, because they weren't in that scene. But it was fun as fuck, and I got to take the day off, and they paid me buco bucks for it.
Woohoo.
Now, when we watch the screen, at the end of the show, it's gonna say "Miners, Carlos Santana."
And then they're gonna go, nah, this one is fake.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine everyone's talking about? Did you hear about that Carlos Santana cameo? And they're so determined to find him, and it just becomes like an annoying game of Where's Wally, or in America, Where's Waldo?
Where is
I can't
Carlos
see him.
Santana in the scene? Nah.
Froggy asked, "Did I do any networking?" Of course, man. I passed my cards around to a couple of peoples. A couple of music producer. There's a music producer and somebody else. Whatevs. It's not about that. I just wanted to do it for fun. I'm not looking to.
We got another comment in the chat.
Hint. From the Silent One.
Wowzers.
He has given the command.
To be fair, he did come here to play, so
Yes,
let's give me what he came for.
All right. On that note,
Let's get the banter tags off.
banter's off. So I was the only banter news. Yikes.
Well, I get to get shot on Independence Day. That's my
That's the other news. Yes, 4th of July. Very American of you to get a vaccine. Oh, to get shot. I mean, you can't get any more American than getting shot on 4th of July. That's the joke. Fuck, I fucked that up. Previously, on Shards of Destiny, the group was all around the city of Iman when suddenly a coordinated attack, presumably led by Carlos, a drug lord mercenary who used to be the right-hand man of Archon the Cruel, a follower of Vecna, including the hand itself of Vecna. Now, Carlos has that hand, and he's using it to wreak havoc somehow. There's been a coordinated attack. His target seems to be the assassination of Kaltur, Feng, and Allura, as well as taking one of the Shards of Destiny located at Fort Doxio, protected by GreatLordD and Reinhardt Wilhelm, a giant of a man all armor class, armor, suit of armor, carrying a big hammer that doubles as a massive blue magical shield. A trick that now Jericho has learned. Anyways, this coordinated attack has led the entire group, with Alora's help, back towards Fort Doxio to defend the spirit shard that's being held there. However, their approach to the defense was delayed by a female ninja who is now Hispanic. That's right, we've recast her. I mean, for most of it, the shots were all like, she's all in black, and her face was mostly covered for most of it. The most we saw was like a dark pigtail on her. So it's pretty easy just to do a couple of shots of just her action face now, close up of a nice Hispanic girl, almost like let's cast her as Jessica Alba, but with dark hair, lithe, slim figure. At the end of the episode, she kicked a lot of she almost nearly killed Jericho in a series of brutal attacks from her hidden position. Her and her band of mercenaries delayed you just enough so that Carlos can come out bearing in a crate one of the shard of destiny that was being held there. A portal was formed, and he and the new ninja stepped through it. And that's where we continue our story. A giant portal, a circle size, the four agents all dressed in black, almost SWAT-looking gear, carrying a large stretcher with in the center a crate. Passed through like clockwork, and really well-trained militarized men, all as a group. The last remaining survivors quickly go through into the circle before the female assassin, and then Carlos grabs her close, does a quick heal on her and there's extended wounds. She throws her a bottle and she does a quick heal. The two of them together go through the portal. The last thing that steps through is there on the ground, a grenade. However, cut to the other side of the portal. Stepping out are all the soldiers carrying the crate, setting it down, and from the camera perspective, next persons are Carlos and the ninja. He grabs her close. Maria, are you okay? That was too close. See, Carlos, it's fine. You got what we came for. The mission was a success. Don't worry, my darling. I know I could always count on you, Maria. I want you to arrange the rest here. Arrange the rest of the shards. Get our men ready. I will go see to the other locations. Carlos steps away, does a circle of hand again. You could quickly see, through the portal itself, what's on the other side. Seems to be more of like a jungly city in the background. And he steps through, and in the background you could see there's a series of smoke and fire, and a few of the SWAT team members as he steps through into that portal, and he closes. The camera does a quick turnaround to reveal at least six or seven other crates being stockpiled, as Maria, now all bruised, bleeding, her head wrapped, she completely unwraps it, revealing a beautiful, pretty face, like I said, who did I say?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica
With
Alba,
black hair.
but with black hair. Yes. And then she steps up to the top. Okay, everybody, stack, and starts giving out commands as the camera starts zooming out and blacking out. Cut to the last thing. Back to the grenade that's rolling down these stairs. You're now at Fort Doxio. The aftermath of the last previous battle where Jericho was nearly killed. Kaltur and stand surrounded by a few of the SWAT teams. Chance hidden in the corner near a bush. Fang as well. There to the ready. Down comes a click, 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 click. More. The grenade before it finished rolling. They could see the pins out and... What? Cut to your reaction. What would you like to do?
Really wish I had a
Thing is
helmet.
just gonna turn his head to hear at this object that he's heard go behind him, and he's like, "What is that?" Not picking up what it is.
Uh,
I'm gonna go try and kick it back towards the portal.
Jericho leans in behind me and proceeds to shield
Both
up.
things happen. Chance quickly runs up to it like a soccer field type kick. Go ahead and roll me in athletics.
Football player for those in Europe.
Yes, I said it right? Oh, I said soccer.
You
You're
said
correct.
soccer.
I said it American style. My bad. Like a football, you go and kick it.
Or
Athletics.
oh.
13, barely at the DC, but not great. It picks up into the air. Jericho jumps in front, putting himself between you and the object, slowly going up in the air. What do you do?
Activate my shield power.
A blue shimmering shield pops out. 10 foot to the left, 10 foot to the right, 10 foot to the top, creating a see-through shield. And then just as soon, a giant explosion fills the screen. Jericho, I would like you to roll me in Arcana, or no, what is it that you do? You do a
I can give you Arcana if you want.
yeah, either that or you dexterity saving throw with advantage, right? Is that what this gives you? With the Arcana. With the Arcana, like, it's not that, it's the dexterity saving throw is what I want. Because the shield buffs that.
Okay, fair enough. So let's give you that.
15. Fantastic. With you getting up there and close and putting it up, the shield holds this time as this massive force and fire wave sweeps out to hit you, and it just spreads against the shield before a few seconds later disappearing, leaving behind where there once was the portal is now gone. Any last traces of Carlos and Maria and any of the SWAT team have disappeared. The battle rages on in the background, and just as quietly, it's fading out as you hear from the far back left the horn of a horn. The camera quickly pans through to see the enemy, the ATVs just leaving. People on horseback, a whole bunch of people on horseback. Whereas before there was a big wave of these SWAT soldiers. Now there's only about, I don't know, half of them, maybe a third, but they're all in retreat. For the time being, it seems like they've come for what they came for. You sit there at the top near the sacred temple that's now with its doors blown open and a few bodies laid around. What would you like to do?
You just see Thing just sink down to a knee. And he's just taking great deep breaths, gasping for air, and he's like, I guess that they have achieved what they wanted.
You never had a chance.
You did. Me. We had a chance.
Chance.
Hmm.
Don't you dare say another word.
Good word.
With that, thing just rises with renewed vigor.
It worked. It worked, Fang. I got you back up.
Yes, and let's just see if I can use your body for mortar for this fortress if you want to keep taking your chances with my frustration.
Question: while they're over there arguing, is there anybody over here who's like kind of sort of still alive?
Roll me an investigation.
Are you asking, have they left lunch for me? Is that what you're asking?
That is what I'm asking.
Slash.
Natural 20.
20.
28.
Well, two of the
shit.
dudes don't have X's on them.
Yes.
Yet.
There's one of them that you see have been like Bang had pummeled one of them, and he's breathing. He's not been knocked out. I mean, he's knocked out, but he's just breathing there, and he's on the ground, completely unconscious, oblivious. There is maybe a little bit moaning in the far off corner as somebody's like still moving. The camera zooms into somebody like going out, reaching out towards like trying to reach a gun in the far off distance, and he's just crawling.
All right.
Kaltur, before you eat them, Kaltur, we need information.
No, you guys are arguing. You're arguing. You're arguing. You don't see me doing this.
There's two of them. One is asleep, and one's unconscious, and one is moving towards a gun.
I am willing to argue I'm definitely not paying attention to Kaltur.
Okay.
I'm
going to
agree with that.
I'm going to quickly go towards the one that's trying to get his gun and do what I do. You want to make an attack roll?
With advantage because he's prone.
I get advantage anyway because I have half my health.
Jericho,
Can I get advantage on the advantage, please?
This is this.
13. I haven't done anything yet.
Do I know
13.
the intent?
If you want to, but honestly, if you don't want him to, I'm gonna say roll me
Advantage on stealth?
No. There's insight check.
60.
Because remember, I did say this is a group thing. Everybody knows what's happening unless somebody says I do this in stealth or I don't want anybody else to know.
I don't want anybody else to know.
Well, there we go. Then
this is why I said while they are fighting, Kaltur is going to be.
Let's go with that. Because he said that specifically, and that rule trumps. I think the you're wanting to see this, unfortunately.
I mean, I'll roll stuff. And you can try to. I mean, I'm.
This sounds more fun. I'm into it. Let's do it now. Roll stealth.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have.
You have a snowball's chance in hell, so.
That's a 7.
Anyways, Kaltur, please proceed with what's before Jericho, unless you want to interrupt. Do you see?
Oh,
there
is a pair of boots clamping towards Kaltur as he's approaching this enemy gentleman.
And he's reaching out. He's just inches from grabbing the gun. He's just a few inches from grabbing this gun.
If he's coming towards me, then I have a response.
He's got his back. I mean, he's unaware. This is just some dude on the ground who's badly hurt, who's crawling with his last bits of life, trying to get to this gun for whatever reasons. And you are approaching him from behind.
Okay, I'm walking towards him, so I haven't done anything yet. So, are you stopping towards me, not knowing what I'm doing?
I am
Or assuming
walking.
you know what I'm doing.
I'm assuming I know what you're doing.
Say something then.
What do you assume I'm doing? Without meditating. What do you assume I'm doing,
Punch.
Jericho?
You are a creature of the night, and I have seen you drain people before.
No, you haven't.
And you're a knight who is a creature.
This
You
is
have
kind
not-
of
Actually, you've never seen me drain anybody.
Yeah.
yeah. Last time when we were in the crypts, he did it. He did it outside of your point of
Yeah.
view. However,
Actually, I
he
didn't
did
do
it.
I do,
I haven't done anybody.
I do believe
Oh.
I had previous knowledge that you were a vampire of sorts.
Yes, I was gonna say. However,
You
when
do
you
know
have-
I'm a vampire, but you never saw me drain anybody.
that is true. All of these things are true.
Yes.
He has seen you drain clothing, though.
Yeah, you see me drain. You see me take the color from his clothing. That's all I've done.
I love
Yes.
this.
Whether you
That's what I was
consider
about to
that
say. I
evil or
think
not,
that's the.
But
yeah, whether you consider that evil or not is up to
but
you.
I would argue that Jericho has seen how vampires approach their prey.
Okay,
It's not uncommon for these guys to have gone up against vampires,
okay.
or
Then
So
maybe not. No, that might be a bit.
I'm assuming my my insight versus your stealth tells me that you have an intention that is hostile.
Evil
towards
intent.
this.
It's just an. It's an
Okay.
intention, but you don't know what exactly.
He has a
specifics.
hostile intent to a
I
bad
have
guy
a
going
hunch.
for a gun. What a shock! That should not
Okay.
be a surprise.
okay.
But
Anyways, he's
Wooster's
he's a
always taking my blood.
he's a few. I mean, he's about to reach this gun. If you stop now, something might happen.
Oh well, I'm not going to stop.
Seconds, the camera zooms in on his fingertips. Can closer, and then
I'm gonna
his
lob a,
fingertips turn gray outside of the
I'm gonna
camera
lob
view.
a javelin.
Right next to where the hand is, a javelin appears, and the camera pulls out to reveal Kaltur punching over him. The camera pulls out to reveal even more in the background an angry
Oh no, I didn't mean
looking
that.
Jericho.
I'm going to while he's doing that, I'm going to pick the man up and I'm going to stare Jericho in the eyes as I keep doing it.
I'll toss. That's a charge.
That's a charge.
That's a charge.
You're going at you're running in after him.
Yep.
Oh shit! I love where this is going. Roll me. How do we want to do this? Let's do a grappling maneuver. Let's use let's do your is it athletics versus your acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
I mean, it's not going to be athletics. It's definitely not going to be athletic. So is he running towards me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's.
that's
I mean,
a-
you've got a thing, and you can see him, and you're looking him in the eye with almost like a "I fucking dare you,"
Mhm.
and he dared, and he's coming right at you.
If I see him running towards me, I would drop the body and then cast polymorph.
Well, we're doing your reaction time at this point, so it's.
I mean,
Initiative, I assume?
no.
I was super
We're
initiative
doing
because
exactly
I mean,
how I said. Exactly
Okay,
how I
so-
said. In acrobatics or your athletics, your choice.
so he has enough time to run towards me and grab. Okay.
It's not going to grab. It's just whether he's going to hit you or not.
Okay.
And it's your reaction time to see whether he hits you or not. He's not actually
Okay.
grappling. He's just like a smack. And sure enough,
He's
he
knocking the
collides in.
food out of your hand.
He collides into you. The three of you fall over. You spilling the remains of this body on the floor. You falling on your ground, still a trickle of blood coming from your face. And Jericho, like almost on his knee. This impact of just like he careened into both of you. So it's forced of to stop, and you guys are all dazed at the moment. Cut to your reaction.
I warned you about this.
Kyle's gonna stare you down and says, "You would save people who try to kill you, kill your friends, kill your compatriots, and stop at nothing
Yes!
to destroy this world. Why? You had no problem killing them 2 seconds ago, but now you wouldn't save his life."
Yes.
Why?
Because those are the ways we honor the defeated.
No, you are a hypocrite. You only care because of what I am. If I was like you, you would say nothing. If I just stabbed him as he reaches for a gun to kill you all in defiance of whatever you want to offer him.
Got a point there.
I have lived for hundreds of years, boy. You know nothing of this world. You walk
And
around
if
pretending.
you want to live more, you will cease this activity.
You dare to
How
think
about
you
the
can
both
stop
of
me?
you just keep quiet and go to your respective corners? There's no time for the both of the
Ding,
rest
ding,
of us
ding,
to
ding.
fight.
I was
Round's
like,
over.
Cartel just will turn around, was like, I was traveling this world when you were just a twinkle in your father's eye. And he'll just like kind of walk out. You, nothing from you. You're all a bunch of fucking children. He was like walk off to wherever.
Says the one having a
as you
tantrum.
guys are having this conflict, like this screaming and yelling match conflict, Allura steps out from that walkway. Enough! All have heard enough. Report what has happened here. Were you able to stop Carlos?
No, they failed.
We
failed.
failed.
I could care less of what happens with the shards.
That's unfortunate. Kaltur, as you know, you are embedded in with the spirit of the shards. You know how this dunamancy works. You are part of it. You've studied it. You are all linked together. All 6 of you. You felt it. Those moments of deja vu. Do you not feel it now? This sense of familiarity? As if you've all known each other for centuries. You are linked as a group. Not just you 4.
I just thought that was Jericho going on and on again about procedure myself. There, he does have a tendency to harp on about it.
Jericho kneels to see if this victim of his is still alive.
No.
Punch the ground, just out of spite.
Is the other one still
Breathing.
sleeping?
Yes.
Breathing?
100% still alive.
I get that one, Kaltur.
Investigation check. Or what would you like to do? Let's pause right here. Chances get cut into Zoom while Allura is doing her, trying to berate you and give out a speech. What are you doing, Chance?
Well, I'm going to search him, and if I can, I will try to revive, like, remedial first aid, since I'm not a medic.
2 things. Roll me investigation, and then roll me Not nature. what is-
When you're saying remedial first aid, are we talking about you're
I'm just
patting
trying-
him down for like the wounds, but secretly all his fibrils get removed at the
Well,
same
that
time?
was part of the investigation. Yes.
Mm.
I just want him conscious so he can answer questions.
I mean, yeah,
Medicine check.
that
That's
pendant
what it is.
can be a choking
Okay.
hazard.
Well,
First off, investigation. You find a lot of things on him.
I kill him. Okay.
First off, you find a lot of things on him. There's lots of these little clips that the audience would recognize as actual bullet clips, ready to go into magazines, ready to go
yes.
into like a submachine gun. The audience would recognize it as an as an MP5.
Or would they?
There's there is a set of two long blades. They're already on the ground, but you can see where the sheaths are against the legs, and they're more like machetes or long, advanced serrated blades, militaristic in styling, advanced USA militaristic styling, deadly looking, deadly feeling. Lots of really thick but light, weird armor. And when you're trying to feel for a pulse, but his armor, carapace, is preventing you from detecting. The most you can see is that he's breathing and he's alive.
Well,
I'm gonna remove the armor. Oh, it's gonna be way too big for me. Never mind.
I'm going to go and see what chance is after once I recover from my frustrations.
Well, first off, Laura still continues back in the background continues talking. He steps forward and just as she's finishing, telling you off, or as explaining Carlos and somebody else. They were there when the shard exploded. You are all linked through it. Him and I have been battling mentally for the last several months since that explosion happened, since the first spirit shard was returned. That mission that I sent you several months ago. I've been using my powers to see, and her eyes glow bright white. And the camera dissolves into like a narrated point of view, animations, etc. My ability to see into the future events. I knew Jericho and Feng, and Chance even. Kaltur. You. And she sees when, it shows all three of you, and then there's like a blank spot, almost like a Pokemon. Who's this? And in the shape of Kaltur.
Question mark.
Yeah, exactly correct. And, it fades in to reveal Kaltur. You are outside of the system, or different somehow. Carlos is unaware of what to do with you. I can see his plans and he can see mine. Sometimes we could block each other out. When I try to read his plans, again, she's like, the point of view, her concentrating and showing just Carlos's face, and him going, and then all darkness.
You just hear Feng's voice just ring out. Oh, so he's doing a Magneto to your Xavier.
We don't need his kind. We can handle it without him.
Exactly, Fang. His plans so far have been unknown to us. At this point, Reinhardt starts tromping and armor moving. Allura, the perimeter is secure. The last remaining of the attackers have been dealt with, and more than a few have been kept prisoner. If you are alive, we shall question them and their motives. I'm sure you will find no answers. They are either on a need-to-know basis, or they are very much skilled in the art of counter-interrogation. We'll try anyways. They were able to break through. How many shards is that now? Her eyes glow bright white again. And as her face is like almost near still as says, I've gotten reports of at least 10 locations being hit. It appears it's been a coordinated attack to gather as many spirit shards as possible. What about the one end? And she goes, shh. That one is safe and secure. I will gather my armies then for the next phase. Yes. Gather up what it is and gather up what you have left. Your purpose here is of no use anymore. Meet me in Iman, ready to go with Captain Holt. Your services will be needed. In the meantime, Carlos's plans are not, as of yet, finished. I've seen into the future and what we must do. We must go to Vasselheim. There, we will search for the room of, there we shall search in the room of shadows. We will find the remaining shards there, but you will need the help of Professor Croft. She will be your guide there.
Laura Croft? Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
You've heard of her. She's a world-renowned archaeologist, knows everything about the ancient worlds. And she's a fair adventurer herself. She knows how to take care of their own. Usually, she works alone, and I respect that. She will be your guide in the city of Vasselheim.
Indiana Jones wasn't available.
Unfortunately, he's in the other part of the continent.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Gentlemen, I have further assistance of you. I have seen what is necessary to have happened. I've seen visions of all four of you travel there. And from that point forward, I cannot see any past. And the events past Vasselheim are complete mystery to me, and I assume to Carlos as well. I ask that while we gather our armies, the four of you go to Vasselheim, go to the Room of Shadows. There, with Professor Croft's help, you will learn the location of the remaining hidden spirit shards. Within the Room of Shadows, it can reveal to you many things, the locations and of special magics. It is rumored that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of these spirit shards scattered around Exandria. The remnants of a long-lost dead god, his power, his magic, his influence scattered in bits, almost like droplets of blood raining down from the heavens.
I will not travel and help these unlife to feed on others.
Camera zooms in on Kaltur, and the conflict still within. Muted. Sorry.
Say, see, the holy man's a hypocrite. He will risk the world just to stay away from me.
A holy man, a vampire, a lawman, a thief. What
Tinker
a
Tailor
complete,
Soldier Spy?
desperate disarray of party that you are. Yet somehow you must find a way to work together. Exandria depends on it. I may not know Carlos's plans, but I know that what he wants is not good for us. This can be the fifth calamity And it is our mission, the Arcana Pensophical's mission, to deal with these threats to the world secretly, so that nobody else has to. We are the last line of defense, a secret war that we wage to protect hundreds of thousands of millions of lives throughout this world. And it's precarious, always on the edge of a knife. One false move, and desperate times calls for desperate measures. Desperate
We
times calls
cannot
for you.
lose ourselves in that fight, or we will become what we fight.
Well, ultimately, Jericho, Kaltur, Fang, Chance. What I ask is huge. We will be gathering all armies. But we have a chance to get ahead of what Carlos wants. We have a chance to find where he's going and beat him to the punch. If we could stop his before he acts, and it will all be worth it. But I'm asking a lot of you working together, and the choice is yours. And it is a choice. I cannot do it for you. I've tried manipulating you into it.
For that alone,
Well, that's
you
why
should
I
have
was
our
in prison.
scorn.
Two things at once. I didn't catch what Jericho said because Chance interrupted. Say again?
And for that alone, you should have our scorn.
Have us what?
Have our scorn.
Scorn
Scorn.
for manipulating us.
It's what I do. Chance, to answer your question, it was not I who let you go out of prison.
No, it was you who arranged for me to be in prison.
You are, after all, a thief and a threat. Your actions are the subsequent results of your choices. You choose badly, you end badly.
You create evidence to show my guilt. You don't necessarily prove my guilt.
I don't have to prove your guilt. This is not a place of law where I must follow the letter. I have seen what you have done. You know that you have stolen. You have confessed so under the circle of under the influence of circle of truth.
And yes, and your exactly under your influence, I have confessed.
It is still a confession, Chance.
Chance, one day you will realize that your choices and your result and your actions will lead to results. And those results you must take ownership of, whether for good or bad. If you do not like the circumstances that you are in jail, separated from those that you love, it is because you fucked around and found out. But now,
What?
I give
my
you
There are
lord's
kids
not-
out there that I know of, but what?
Damn, my lord's off the PG rating.
you ain't fucking around. But now you have a new choice. This is a way to redeem yourself. I will allow you free access. And if you come back victorious, I will grant your freedom. How's that for choice?
I choose freedom.
Bang.
What do you have to say to me?
The city needs you. Exandria needs you.
That's it then. My oath is to the city.
As usual, Fang, your loyalty knows no bounds, and we thank you for it. Your
Good one,
service.
Froggy.
Kaltur, you are a stranger in a strange land. We've had a few conversations about the influence of time and place, and so far I've granted you freedom against my better judgment and the judgment of others who've wanted you locked up, or even worse, re-dead. I see something in you.
I kind of laugh at her as I'm like, spinning my astro globe. And you're like, you have no clue who sent me to get the spirit shard, do you, Elora? There are more powerful things in this world, even than you.
What the crap, Kaltur? If you want to act arrogant, just reveal the cards.
What cards?
There's
I
a
do this
panorama.
because it's exciting for the moment.
Then just tell us your position.
I told you my position. I said I have no issues as long as it's fun. You need to speak to the holy and thou paladin man, your friend there. He's the obstinate one.
I find that both of you are being obstinate at the moment.
I will say that I dislike those who are too religious and cops because you all pass judgments that are convenient for you.
I'm with Kaltur on this one.
Chance, shut it.
No.
I will allow his presence on one condition.
What is your condition?
That he will not feed on those who have not volunteered out of their free will. No magic to persuade them.
And
If he
what-
agrees to that, I will allow his presence.
Oh, fuck no.
Then you are
You think
the
it's-
one who wishes
You think this is a
to-
fuck? You think this is a fairy tale? If someone tries to kill me, I will kill them by any means necessary. I'm not going to ask for permission to say, hello, may I kill you in compensation for trying to kill me? Please?
You will not feed on their souls.
You have no clue how this works, but okay. I promise I will not feed on anyone's souls without their permission
Or their blood.
or their blood, because Kata doesn't drink blood.
How do I feel I'm missing the
Thing's
point
just
here?
going to walk away from this argument.
Jericho
There.
is feeling lawyered.
Reinhardt comes over and puts a big, meaty hand on your shoulder. Jericho, your heart is in the right place. What I learned a long time ago is that you don't always have to be all good. There is gray and black in all of us.
Then
All
you
that
have
is black.
failed.
Yes, I have. I've failed many times. We all do. It's that human part of you that's half in you is failure. But what that same half human part of you is, you must learn from your failures to become better. You will never be truly white. That is where sainthood comes from. And
But I
very
do
few
not need
have-
to be intentionally black.
What I
Well,
need you to
dark.
be, but what I need you to be, is a savior of Exandria.
Kata doesn't know how he feels about this conversation. It's like, what?
I need you to help protect the hundreds of thousands of millions of lives. If what Allura says is true,
If
it's the only chance we got.
and
If
I
what
have
she says
given
is
I have given the undead.
And now
one,
I ask for more.
and that is
From
all I
one
can
son
give.
of Baelor to another son of Baelor. As the bearer of the Dawn Sword, I ask that you do what this one last task.
I will
Help
do it.
us stop Carlos.
But I will not allow his presence unless he agrees to my terms. That is the problem, not my willingness.
I just said I will eat no souls or drink any blood.
You will
What
not
more do you
feed
want from
on
me?
anyone who is not volunteered without the aid of magic. That
As I
is my
said,
condition.
Beng's walked away from this. Because if he stayed there any longer, he's going to be smashing someone's head in. He's feeling his patience starting to go at this.
If I catch
know what?
you doing this,
What are you going to do?
I will use whatever I have to stop you.
All right. Well, then why do I need to promise if I'm lying, you're going to kill me? If I don't do it, you're going to kill me. I don't see the benefit of doing.
If
Fine.
you feed on someone
I
involuntarily,
will not unwillingly feed on anyone in your presence. That is the best that I can do.
Sorry.
no, not good enough.
Fine. I will not feed on anyone without their permission.
Do you swear?
Is this with like a cross fingers behind your back sort of situation? Out of character question.
Do you swear under a zone of truth?
Ooh.
You're casting Zone of Truth?
Yes.
Give me a save.
Counterspell. Either you're going to take my word for it or you're not. Those are your options. You cannot ask me not to make anyone do anything under spells. You cannot ask me to tell you spells. Like I said, it's okay as long as you do it because you have a reason that you think is right. So you have a reason to put me under a spell because it makes you feel better.
Laura's just patiently like watching the two of you back and forth.
I've
Knowing-
said yes to Laura. I've said I won't feed anybody without their permission or use any magic. This one still wants to do other things. I'm ready to go. Just waiting on the rest of you.
I should warn you.
Very well then. You
About
will be allowed to
Vasselheim.
feed on me when it is required.
Sorry.
Oh no, you seem a bit
So-
bland.
Jericho just said, "Bite me."
You did. Don't know how I feel about that, but I'll take that under advisement.
You will require a volunteer to be fed, and you cannot live without being fed. I will offer myself, so you will have that volunteer.
Kurt, you might want to get Jericho, just make sure Jericho has had his health checks.
Yeah, I know.
Just
might
make
have
sure he's
no-
not been poisoning himself just to spite you, you
This
know?
is amazing.
He, after all, Kaltur might have some BTDs, bite transmitted diseases.
BTDs. Well, I mean, if paladins are immune to diseases, right?
Yeah,
At a certain level.
Allegedly.
allegedly. I mean,
That's why
That's
my-
what they've been claiming.
this is
That's
why
why-
I feel like paladins are technically the original like fuck boys. That's what I'm telling you. Paladins are the original ones. Like I can't.
That,
I got nothing to worry about.
That's how the
Can't
Poodles
confirm.
stay in business.
Can confirm. That is, yeah, can confirm.
Calder's is like, hey, I've made the promises. I don't think I'll need to eat you or partake of what you've got. And or I should just let you know the way I feed doesn't technically kill people. That one was just pretty much dead.
Well then, seems we have an agreement.
An
Let me fill
accord
you
has
in
been
on-
made.
What was that?
An accord has been made.
Oh no, not accordion music.
Then let us inform you of what's required of you. Voiceover time. The camera fades into the city of an overview map of Exandria, showing from Fort Doxio. Zoom in on a actually back to Iman. Zoom in on a one of those blimps, an airship, a very big like a ship itself that's powered. It's actually not a blimp. It's powered
Chariot
by
of the gods?
no, a massive Starliner ship. But it's powered underneath by like a series of thrusters that are magic based that are constantly lifting it up into the air, and a myriad of travelers there of all different races and cultures. Also an overview map of like here's the city. Here's the city
Can
of
we
Iman,
have
and we're
the
gonna do the
map?
Indiana Jones thing where it does a little line going far across the ocean. Camera zooms in. Yes, the camera zooms into the far northwest off the map. A
No
couple
more of it. No more of it. I don't want
I
a
love how you're
copyright
always.
strike.
That's like you're so scared of copyright strikes. I love it.
Hey man, DMCA is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the DMCA.
We
You hear me?
have to be
Fuck
careful.
the DMCA. Anyways,
If we change the letter, is it not copyrighted? So we go R R R R R R R instead of D D D D D D.
Right. Also, can we get a map?
we can. It's right there on. Well,
Yeah,
the
because you
problem
got
is
the map,
Vasselheim
that's-
doesn't actually have a map.
I'm not meaning the map of Vasselheim. I mean the map of.
The continent.
Oh, you know what?
Exandria?
Yeah, I forgot to do the thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to move the player thing over there.
Yep.
Like I always do because I'm not so used to. There we go.
Okay. So
Oh,
Fort
wait.
Daxio was what here, wasn't it?
Yep, and we're doing
Amon's here.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right.
Uh,
We're doing this from it.
yeah, Vasselheim is like. Actually, I don't think Vasselheim. You can see Vasselheim on this map because it's only of Tal'Dorei.
That's right. Correct.
Yeah.
Vasselheim is a completely different continent in
Yeah.
the northeast,
Okay.
and you can only travel through it over the seas.
Okay.
But rather than going by ship, she's taken by airship at all paying all expenses. Very, very expensive to take an airship. But as this is happening though, she's explaining Vasselheim. Vasselheim, otherwise known as the Cradle of Faith or the Cradle of Creation, is where all eight of the major religions reside. This is the oldest city to have survived millenniums. Every single time it has been attacked, it has been able to push back against its attackers. However, since the Age of Arcanum, since the battle of mages versus the gods, and due to the follow of that, they are against any use of arcane magic. Divine magic is perfectly acceptable, this being the cradle of divinity. But any arcane use in public, or any displays of power arcane-based, will be quickly frowned upon publicly and can even lead to arrests and jail time. Also Kaltur. They do not take well to the undead due to the still present due to the last previous attack of Vecna, and there's even still many of the remnants and a few undead that they must search out and kill. I would suggest you keep a low profile while you
So
are
let
there.
let me get this straight. You're taking me to a city pretty much full of him, and I'm supposed to be okay with this.
Yes.
You buried the you really just
Bury
buried
the
that
lead
lead
here.
leader. I'll wait till you were on the ship for a few days, and then I'll break the news, huh, Laura?
I didn't say I'd stop manipulating you.
Fang is just laughing there, and he just goes,
I will jump off this ship right now. I will make it to shore eventually.
"Yeah." And how many centuries will it take you to get to shore?
Eh,
That is why.
technically, I've been dead for. I was in a. Technically, I was already dead. Like
And
dead.
that is why you need someone that is a volunteer to be fed on.
Not really. And I just want to say, I'll just start touching everything that's not a person and just start taking the color off of it. I'm like, not really. I'll just start touching things. Things just turning black and white around you.
Convince the local guards that you're not a threat to their existence.
We're gonna cut to the interior of the ship. You're all passengers. Everything. I mean, you're all having that whole voiceover showing that argument and having the ship showing on the map slowly fades into you around a table, continuing this conversation. There in the center is the Rocky Talkie that's put on speakerphone, and you can still hear her voice over it. Chance, your crystal ball has been taken away. You cannot have it's. You will not be able to use it in Vasselheim, and its proper owner is Allura. It is gone.
I thought she already took it away before we went on the last mission, but okay. Because otherwise, I would have used it to follow.
Yeah, sorry.
And find out where they went. So
I'm just
He's just reconfirming it's gone.
reconfirming. Anyways, the interior of the ship, it's spacious, luxurious. There's many a well-dressed traveler around wearing the best of their jewelry, pearls, earrings, waiters in perfectly fit and tight uniforms, all white and almost tuxedo looking, with an air of nobility, passing around those silver plates with silver and gold decanters, water, drinks, cups.
So what you're saying is this place is full of targets.
Yes.
Oh, very much so.
Do you want any pearls?
With again the warning of Allura saying,
That's not magic.
Carlos's spies and agents all everywhere. We've had confirmation that they are working with the Clasp as well as the Remnants, and they're bringing in what has been referred to by Stacy as SWAT. Stacy's voice comes in. Hi guys, how you doing? Hey, I miss you. Hey, I miss you all. Listen, I want you all I want you all to stay safe, and I've made sure that you've had special care packages in your luggage next time you check. From the background, you hear Allura. Yes, thank you, Stacy. What was I saying? Lost track. He's got spies. You should be on the lookout for more remnants, as well as the SWAT that he's bringing in from the Fey realm, as well as strange magics. I don't think he will be successful in attacking Vasselheim. In fact, I don't think that he even knows you're there. But be on the alert for spies, and above all else, please keep a low profile. The success of this mission depends on that. Allura out. And the glow on the rock disappears. You're still there at the table.
Thing
Plates of foods and drinks and whatever y'all want are all there.
Thing was sleeping for that debrief the entire time. His view is, I'll do what needs to be done when I get there.
Kaltur is just playing with the spider.
Fantastic. Chance, what are you doing?
I won't say casing the. I'm
Joining the
gonna,
case.
That's fine. I'm into it.
No, I'm doing it a case. No, the case against me was all made up. I'm gonna keep an eye out, looking for people with weird marks on their heads and stuff like that. Looking for the spies.
Somebody that does not belong.
Yes.
Roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Kaltur, Bang, Chance,
Oh,
Jericho.
I didn't roll there. Okay, there we go.
Also, describe to me what all of you are wearing in this very fancy part of the dining area in this airship.
Oh, I will definitely be out of the guard clothes. I will be
Good.
just wearing basically like a G, basically like a G. Okay,
A gi.
a G. Yeah, G. Sorry. Sorry, my bad
No, he's wearing a
pronunciation.
G-string.
That is entirely coincidental.
You're wearing a gi to the very fancy dining room area.
Just plain. It's simple. It's elegant.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm into it, and it's a little bit decorative as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm into it. Jericho. Next.
Well, Jericho is wearing a parade uniform over his armor, like the tabard and the.
You have your
extra
armor
tassels.
underneath, like.
You're wearing your
Yeah.
armor?
I mean,
Of course, I'm a
that's kinda-
paladin on duty. It's
people
part of-
this will definitely attract attack.
And-
That's-
and there's a
Fang
sword on
just
his belt.
leans over and he just goes, I thought Aurora said to be inconspicuous.
I'm paladin of Palor. If I'm not wearing my armor, I'm doing a disservice to Palor.
Kaltur, how about you then?
Kaltur is wearing these very nice black leather boots that kind of come up to his knees, and these silk pants, like very skin tight silk pants that have like embroidered with like gold silk outlining, which comes up to a very billowy silk shirt that kind of somewhat shows his very
Open.
nice, well-formed chest. And he's wearing this like kind of like mini cloak that kind of like drapes behind him.
I'm getting the feeling that it's like the shirt is also, it's not just you're showing off your chest, it's like cut, there's no actual sleeves, so you actually show off.
Is
your
it kind of like
arms.
sexy Dracula costume?
Somewhat, yeah.
Sexy Dracula costume. I can picture it.
I mean, it's definitely an outfit to have eyes look at him, especially those of the feminine variety.
Chance, before I describe what you find, what are you wearing?
While I'm doing my investigation, I look like one of the waiters. I'm walking around the tray.
I'm not into that.
You're not into that?
No. I think casting the director's going to be up to your head like, that doesn't work for us here. We need you to. They like detecting the instance. It doesn't work for the story. We're gonna have to. Wardrobe says you wear this instead.
Is this Alora manipulating us again?
This is Director Santana telling you what the scene requires, bro.
He's like, you like player agency.
Because effectively,
however, do you have something that's called that does a quick disguise?
Yes, his disguised self. Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad then. So then do your transformation of what you regularly look like, and then transforming it into the waiter, and then looking around. That I can hang with.
Okay. What I regularly look like is a nondescript halfling that wears not the cheapest clothing, but not ritzy fancy stuff.
Well, we're in a ritzy fancy area, so
I don't-
this is your chance to really like dress up, man.
A fancier cloak. I'm not sure.
Done and done, and just like that, you fade into the smart-looking outfit, and you stand apart, and you do a little bit of.
Of course, if
walking
there's
around.
no halfling waiters, this is going to be kind of pointless.
It doesn't matter because everybody's eyes and attentions are on the group sitting at the table, which includes Jericho and his bright armor, fancy-ish armor, and dress uniforms and around. But there's still, it's very out of place here at the dinner table. Kaltur looks equally as strange in stark contrast of darks versus the whites, sitting opposite each other, and Fang there just in the middle with the most actually.
I can just
Wearing a
imagine
kimono.
a chess game between us two.
Yes, very much, sir. Very much so. With very much between you, like as you've been playing a game, and it's almost like how can I put this? Symbolic. The white versus the blacks.
Yeah. This is Jericho's plan. He's hiding in plain sight. He's hiding in the spotlight.
And I'm using them as a distraction so I can see who's paying attention to them.
Yes, and I mean, almost the entirety of the dining room table. Everybody's at least 15, 20 people here in midst of conversations, and almost all of them are whispering towards each other and taking glances at the table, and then looking back at each other and just shaking their heads or going back to meal. You hear with an 18 roll, you hear snippets and whispers of disapproval of these strangers. They don't belong here. Who do they think they are? I bet you they're spies. Probably on a secret mission. You think we're in danger? Anything can, stuff like that.
Just out of curiosity, let me just see if I've heard that or if I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah, sure. And mind you, Jericho and Kaltur are just still at each other's throats.
Thing is just going to stand up and just go to the nearest table and say, "I'm sorry. Is there anything that I've done to disturb your dinner?"
Oh, excuse me. An half-orc.
Yes.
Yes, your mere presence is smell of you. Oh, please. Waiter, we'd
I
like
just
to take our...
backhand the man.
Oh shit, you're gonna initiate violence?
Yes.
Roll me an attack.
As he's doing this, I'm just going to
Excuse
say,
me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Calm down. Calm down.
As he's doing this, I'm gonna say he's hitting patrons, but I bite somebody who tries to kill us. And
I'm actually trying to stop that too, but I didn't know this was happening until now. It's the
You go towards like your quick anger look in your face, and you go ready to do a smack. If anybody wants to interfere, stop him now. I'll give you an opportunity.
Oh,
As the waiter, I'm going to try and stop him.
As
I have to protect my
his
patrons.
friend, I am going to try and stop him by grabbing his arm.
I cast whole person on.
It's cool. Everybody pause. Fang, you cool? Do you want to continue with a full strike and actually make contact, or do
I'm
you want
going
to
to
allow them
backhand
to...
this guy. If no one stops me, I'm backhanding
They're
this guy.
obviously stopping you, bro. I mean, I'm giving you the chance of like allow them to stop you, or
I think
I'm stopping them, stopping him. That's what I'm doing. Stopping
I'm
Jericho.
just gonna
I'm not stopping
class.
Fang.
too many people
I'm
are
all
talking.
for this.
Too many people are talking. Help me out here.
Right. So my intention is I'm backhanding this guy. Jericho's going to try and stop me. Kaltur's loving this, so he's actually going to try and stop Jericho by you casting whole person on Jericho.
And I'm also trying to stop you with my tray.
I've got it.
Right.
Because these are my patrons here. I'm in disguise. Come on. I have to defend them.
The look of like absolute anger and disgust goes through, and you're just about to hit him when Chance steps in, and Chance takes the hit instead. And while it means in the background, Jericho is going up to stop you, and it's just frozen in place. And Kaltur is there with a half smile on his face, stopping him. And at which case the the patron, thank you, waiter. I think we will take the rest of our meal with us. The company here is disagreeing with me. Come, darling. And the lady, dressed in bright greens and pearl necklaces and just utmost stress to the tops, puts down her little thing onto the table. It's like, I seem to have lost my hunger anyways. Let's go, darling. And they just take off. Meanwhile, a group of waiters come in.
I hate to say this, Carlos, but the temptation is too much.
Roll me. Roll me.
While they're getting up to leave, would I
You're
get
gonna
advantage
pickpocket?
on my sleight of hand to remove something
Sure.
from
Let's do this.
like, for example, the
They
pearl?
now trust you because you defended them.
Bing
Even if
is
it's-
not going to stop this, even if he notices this, because
There's
he's
a
got
lot
up
of shit going on. In fact, like the other waiters come in, seeing like a disturbance. Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
good. You didn't even need the advantage.
Bing is just strutting around and he just goes, does anyone else have a comment about my ancestry, or is anyone got a question about my ancestry?
Roll me intimidation.
16.
Pretty good. The rest of the patrons, like all at this outburst, and it continues, there is a complete hush at the dining room. At the dining area, all 16 patrons, all of a sudden, you could hear the last bits of like clutter as the forks hit the plate, and other than that, there's pure silence, and everybody's all looking at all of you aghast. And they all just return
Silence.
to their food without looking at anything. And there's 5 or 6 waiters appearing next to you guys. We'll get to you, Chance, in just one second. And you see them like reaching into, reaching into like behind their backs into something secret. There's going to be a problem here. Meanwhile, the camera tracks to these 4 waiters who are now looking menacing, and the camera tracks points of view, like tracks where he's reaching behind his shirt, and behind the shirt there's like what appears to be a wand or something, or an object hidden underneath his pants and underneath his shirt. The camera continues to track as it follows like an arm, Chance's arm, as it's like while these people are doing their thing, everybody's being completely distracted. Was there anything in particular that you wanted to take from them?
Oh yes, in the kerfuffle, she must have dropped her pearls.
As she's leaving and shaking her head like this, the camera pans through and she departs. However, the necklace just goes and disappears from the back of like her neck. You know, like it's almost like you unclasped it, and little by little, just like as she's walking away, she leaves, but necklace stays behind.
Yeah.
As you're holding it, and just as quickly, with one quick maneuver, you put it entirely in the palm of your hand, and you subtly slip it into your persona. Cut to the doors opening, and she's got this look of indignation, proudly bearing her chest, the pearls, sans pearls, as the door closes behind her with a loud and the last few remaining people by the door are looking at Gog at her and just like go back to eating their food, try not to stare anymore.
If any of the other patrons not act that way,
Roll me one more perception check.
I just want to, because
Wouldn't that be more on
What?
insight?
Just said, oh yeah, insight. That's a good call.
no perception. I'm good at insight. I suck.
No, I want this.
You
Bad.
can still roll 20.
I'm going to
You
assist
can
on
still
this.
roll 20.
I can do this even while on hold person.
12, that's reasonably okay.
It's hard to tell. This outburst, everybody's acting strange now. You're
'Cause I'm
nobody
thinking
has their eyes
spies.
on you anymore. They're intentionally all now
Yeah.
Oh,
staring
yeah, I'm
deeply
giving
at their
them
meals,
death glares.
actively trying to ignore what's going on. Meanwhile, these four stewards. Gentlemen, is there going to be a problem? We were told to give you some grace, but that only goes so far on this ship.
Everything seems to be under control now. Except
Thing just slowly
Jericho's
walks
not
out.
You're
with
one
his-
of the. You're still dressed as one of them, John.
yes, I know.
Uh,
That's why I'm saying everything seems to be under control now.
Thing's just gonna slowly walk out with his hands, clearly out by his eyes, and he's just gonna say, "I just lost my composure for a moment."
Agreed. We don't like that type of behavior here. No matter how much we're being paid. The captain especially warned us to keep a close eye on all 4 of you. Where is your other compatriot? And they all do a quick search, looking around.
He went to the washroom.
I'm assuming he's in his room.
Roll me a deception. Roll me a deception.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know where he is. I said
You said he's probably in his room.
20.
I'm in my room, I guess.
At least somebody here knows how to behave. Please. I would prefer it if you take your meals with you.
I kind of snap my fingers. I'm like, come on, Jericho, I'm hungry. Let's go.
I will. I'll gather up. I wouldn't expect them to carry their own food, so I'll gather up their stuff on what's left of the tray after Feng beat in it, and help them to their room.
Yes. I'm into this. The scene fades away.
Mhm.
The ship continues. Now it's an outside overview shot of the airship. As it's going out it's traveling over an ocean. The moonlights are reflecting off of it beautifully, creating a romantic atmosphere. It's now nighttime, and there's a few walker-bys on the deck as the camera zooms in closer and closer to show off all the CGI. We're going to put in all the CGI on here. This is a beautiful airship. The thrusters are glowing blue underneath it, powered by some sort of arcane magic. There's a couple of sails, or weird, intricate sails, almost has like wings, and there's battlements throughout the area, like secret battlements.
Mm-hmm.
Around the top, there's 4 what have looked. Everybody here they act as both guards and waiters. Really well trained staff. They're all very fit and muscular, yet dressed to be prim and proper. And with the outside, they're all doing a crisp walk around, and a few of them doing this thing with an elongated telescope that has arcane writing on it, just checking the perimeter ever so much. So the camera continues to zoom in into one of the little. Either I'm going to give you a choice here. Do you want to be on the decks, or do you want to be in your rooms having a discussion?
Just what I'm wanting to clarify, just over the time, because when we went onto the ship, I know Jericho's got his armor on him, but what was the procedure with us taking weapons aboard? Are they is that
They're
in
in
the luggage
storage.
down below?
Very
Right.
much so.
Oh no, I'm not allowing them to have the Excalibur.
You
You
have
are-
luggages. Correction, guys. Time out. If we could fit all these things. You have luggage in your all of your whatever luggage you want as carry on. Sure, but a lot of things are in your suitcase. In fact, you have a couple of suitcases there that when you open it up, you can see all the goodies that Stacy sent you guys.
Mm-hmm.
There, Jericho is looking at a sword, and it's in a hidden luggage thing, almost like a violin case. It's there. You have access to it. It's fine.
By the way,
Oh,
is
no,
this
I'm
a
a
giant
knight.
shark down below us?
Hmm?
I'm a
I'm
knight.
thinking on the
I'm
map.
allowed to have a sword on my side.
I think Feng's privileges for carrying weaponry has been revoked
Oh,
in
nice
the
picture.
lounge.
I'm putting you in the uncomfortable situation of no weapons allowed anywhere on site,
Mm.
Jericho. Do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with the guards then? And we shall test to see who wins.
Are
gets
you
out.
going to break the law?
Here's my question.
You fuck around, you find out.
Here's my question. This is what Feng's more concerned about is he doesn't mind if he has no weapons. He is the weapon. Okay. What he wants to know is how well armed are these guys? So if they were to start something in their current attire, he just wants to get an idea of, he wants to kind of assess them, so he can take
Sure.
appropriate.
Sure. Insight check me.
Yeah. Oh, insight you. 21.
You're well trained in the arts and movements of. I mean, you notice that they walk differently, almost like barely stepping on the ground, making no noise. Their movements are very fluid and natural, almost athletic even. Every single person here that acts as both a waiter, I mean, they're holding stuff in perfect balance as they're walking
They're
around.
going to be a pain to fight.
They are very much trained in the realms that they act as both security and guards and waiters and everything here. This is a very, very, very fancy ship. They pay top dollar for fighters turned servants.
Yeah, and what is...
That's
Have
another
I
one of these
got
religious
any
powers?
indication of what weaponry they carry there?
Monks of the Silver Spoon.
A lot of them have like a lot of them you could see with that good insight. You could see their movements on occasion. There's especially after that confrontation, they have a spot in the back or hidden somewhere in their persona. You could barely see that there's a bulge that probably represents either wands, magic users. A few of them, just you could tell by their fighting style, they're bare knuckle fighters or possibly trained.
I see the
arts of
calluses on the
monkeism.
knuckles there.
There's bulges where you could see that they're probably wearing some sort of they can have on their person some sort of weaponry. In fact, earlier in the other thing they could see on them is they have the clearly symbol of the pistol, the old style format that the not the modern guns that SWAT have been taken, but the
Flintlock.
Flintlocks.
yeah, it's been at least 150 years since the inventor of firearms here in Exandria.
So basically, black powder, or the black powder weapons they have.
Yeah. And also, you've seen like where there's a when you were boarding the ship, there was like a cabinet that you had glimpsed where there's actual long rifles. And, but it's on the deck somewhere behind lock and key, which there's always a guard station.
Okay, so not the sort of people I would want to really muck around with there.
Probably not.
No. Okay.
And again, you as a paid guard, and I mean, you notice like these guys are well trained. They're well trained mercenaries here. But it's for the security of the ship. I mean, it's all for legit purposes.
Yeah, of course. It's not like they're smuggling anything.
They're smuggling people, possibly.
But and actually declare that at the same time. It's fantastic.
But
this is top dollar.
Yeah. Kaltur would like to have this conversation in his room because, again, he's hungry. And how we learned 2 episodes ago, he's fucking petty. So Jericho said, hey, you can feed off of me. And that's what he's going to do.
Oh, boy. This is going to be an interesting.
I think Thing and Chance will allow the intimacy for both Jericho and Kaltur.
Well, Chance has seen it.
You can speak for me.
Chance has seen me do this before because he did it to Chance. So it's not an intimate thing.
He just hears the word feed and he is assuming something else. That's all.
Jericho, cut to the room inside, and we're going to take it from your perspective. What's going on?
2 things first. I would like to make an insight check to see how much Jericho really loves this armor that he's wearing. Like, is how proud of it is he?
Okay.
It is. It is like, this is like you know what, this is important.
Depending on how well you roll, Jericho, give me exposition. Depending on how well he rolls.
15.
It appears that the armor he's wearing is a tool. It's just a piece of thing that protects him from harm.
Okay. I mean, this is your parade armor. This is your armor that you wear for like special occasions, right?
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's okay.
You mean he cleans it?
It's
shiny.
fine. You know what? Okay, he has no care about it. Then he's going to just be petty. First petty thought. What color is Jericho's hair?
That would be the straw yellow, I believe.
Okay, now it's white. As he kind of runs his fingers through your hair. It's like, all right. I'm topped off.
Good.
I think like Thing comes around the corner, you know, reading a book, looks up at Juggle and he's like, what? That what?
Now
So
Jericho's hair
goes.
color is bald as he shaves it off.
I saw a ghost.
Clearly.
Surprisingly okay with this.
It is but here.
Give me a moment. I've got some dust in my eye.
Because
For
Kaltur
a
has
moment,
realized
there is
that,
liquid in my eyes.
in the exposition of Kaltur, he has realized that people actually prefer the actual vampire feeding habits when it's not, you know, death at the end, because, you know, no one notices that shit, but someone notices if, you know, parts of you are turning white and fading. People tend to be like, what? They don't.
Are you explaining to Jericho that you seldom drain somebody enough to kill them, that you only drain enough to sustain, which
He
is very
did.
little, and
Well,
people barely notice?
I did. Well, the thing is that, like, when Kaltur, the way he drains or feeds, he just takes color. So it doesn't actually ever kill anybody. They're just either unless he tries to take their color of their person, but he usually takes like, you know, their hair color or the color of their eyes, or, you know, something that they hold dear that's, you know, of a certain color. He'll take from that. He doesn't do anything, call it.
The Kaltur Jericho fanfic is going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
It's so fun. Kaltur.
I may
Just
write some of it myself.
just like curiosity, does your clothing get a wee bit more flamboyant now that you fed or something? Is there anything that would indicate that you fed for yourself apart from the result on Jericho? That's
You do notice his eyes. Like, his eyes are usually like very like this like very bright silver color. But when he feeds, you see like his eyes kind of get this like kaleidoscope looking thing.
all right.
And you see all the color kind of transition through his eyes. But that's like the only noticeable thing.
The only question I have is, what's the ship name? Is it Jeritur or Chaldea?
Oh. Jeritur.
It is called the Director.
Celtico, no. No, he means the
I know.
Kaltur. We'll figure it out.
So,
Anyways,
Chaldea.
Calico? What?
Turdia.
Feng enters the room. Feng enters the room at the last moments to see Kaltur feeding. And John, what are you doing?
Well, I brought their food back to the room for them, and I guess my disguise isn't really required anymore.
It's probably staging a one-man
And
crime.
You're
on the
now
ship.
you're now in your bedroom, in a bedroom, one of communal. If you want it to be communal or individual, doesn't really matter. There's a bed, there's a table, you guys are eating, and you have perfect privacy here. Anything you wish to discuss before we move to the next scene?
This is like where he comes out of character. I've just got in my head. He comes back and he just starts pulling out the pearl necklace and like 20 other things that we did not see him pocket.
I'm into this, Chance. Here's your. If you want to, you can start.
I just took the necklace from the
Just the
whiny one
necklace.
that was insulting Fang.
Fair enough.
What do
That's actually quite well reserved. I'll give you that, sir.
All right, Calico. I like it, Froggy. And sure enough, the necklace.
Kaltur doesn't judge you.
I wish to go through the goodies at this and
Fantastic.
get my mind off of my grayed out hair.
Okay, there we go. Sorry.
You just hear if you probably just hear this comment. Jericho is still complaining about the hair. And
Jericho doesn't complain about it. Not once.
or like Fing just sees a reaction from Jericho, like he's just looking in the mirror and he just goes, "Well, I think it looks a bit more distinguished."
I think Jericho
It
wants to
becomes
give
you.
off a. I think he. Oh, there you go. I like that.
He just trying to give up. I don't care.
No, I'm guessing that Jericho's intentionally thrown off an attitude like, I will not show any signs of emotion. I will not give Kaltur the satisfaction.
But the same way he's set in the way that it's clear that he.
Let me just roll how well that goes.
Yes.
How did he roll?
18.
18.
All right, he is bluffing it quite well.
Bluffing it quite well.
But we'll do an insight check for that.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Insight is actually one of my good skills.
But my deception is better.
It's a
So-
question though how actually he fooled me. There.
Open point of view of the suitcase being opened, reaching in and pulling stuff out. The camera zooms in little by little. It shows an overview and a description. First off, a note, a letter from Stacy. I hope this helps in whatever Laura's planning. For what I could tell, she's on the up and up on this. I've got you a few goodies I hope you enjoy. And the voiceover continues as you're pulling out little bits of items. First off, this is good for this. Stacy, she is... fuck it, we won't do her voiceover right now.
This door is cute.
Night. It's almost like a wrapping that goes around with like these little glasses. They're like, these will help you see in the dark. They are the equivalent of what we call the night vision goggles.
I already can see in the dark.
Yeah.
Yep.
As all of us kind of look at each other like,
The only one of us that doesn't have that is me. I can only...
Yeah.
Hey, wait, yeah, I'm half elf.
You don't
so
have dark vision, but
Half
you
elf,
don't.
half elf, yeah.
Half elf don't.
Oh, it's half orcs do though.
Yeah.
Don't you? I thought you had some effects on. Are you
No,
just normal
only
side?
Only in 3.5 and Pathfinder. Oh wait, actually,
no,
yeah,
half elves do have dark vision.
Yeah, I do have dark vision.
do?
We all have
do
dark. We all halflings don't have dark vision.
Yeah, but he's already got the.
He's got
But
an
he has-
item for
he-
it.
So he has an item. So yeah, we're all good. We're like, okay,
Useless sin, another useless sin. Some more sets of walkie-talkies. These have been in the newer enhanced model of the walkie-talkies, and now you can see that they are actually taking walkie-talkies from what Carlos has been using and modifying them. So these are more extreme and more powerful, and could possibly pick up some of Carlos's transmissions.
Multi-channel walkie-talkies. Oh, I'm gonna turn one on and go through the stations or whatever the equivalent is, just to see if there's anybody talking on this ship.
Oh,
ooh,
roll me. First off, I mean, you as Stacy's did, you grab one of those and you're like, this has playful, like going through there's a knob and you're just like rotating it around. Actually, it wouldn't have a knob. These are new militaristics models. There's a button that you push in. There's a little LCD, and it shows like arcane symbols moving up. And each time you press it, you hear roll me in Arcana to see.
Oh fuck! You keep picking the good ones.
Yes.
15.
50.
Oh shit! You pick up some conversation you pick up like voices from from the room next door. You hear can you believe what he said? Honestly, I can't find where they are. Honey, I think you just forgot to pack them. No, really. I know for a fact I had my pearls with me.
I wore them to the dinner.
But why on earth did they have walkie-talkie themselves? Okay, that's suspicious.
Magic.
It's not what's happening. you're picking up the signal is picking up from it's picking up enhancing the room next door's audio.
Oh,
It's
Okay.
it's like a pickup mic.
Yes. You're picking up somebody, the closest people next to you, like having a big conversation. You're amplifying their I mean, it's subtle and it's in the background, but you're static, and on occasion their voice filters in and you can hear that going on, and you're like moving it. Cut to the you're still pulling out more and more items, health potions. You're pulling out health potions now. Is there anything in particular that you guys wouldn't find useful at the moment?
New armor.
Oh yeah,
how about armor made out of the basically Kevlar?
the Kevlar armor. Yes,
But that is-
absolutely.
But
That's
that would be suitable for my class and
Man of your
Race.
stature. That's what you're wanting to say.
class and race. Well, no, because like I can generally only wear leather armor because it's like flexible.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. I'm into this. I say yes to this. So everybody gets one of these. They're like an undershirt that's kept, almost feels like thick Kevlar base. She says on the note, I found you some modified Kevlar armor that you could wear underneath your clothing. It won't stop the bullets, but it'll help protect you against what they're throwing at you. That's Allura's voice. Anyways, that's what the note reads.
Yeah.
It'll help protect. What this is going to fundamentally do is, whenever they're firing bullets at you, on a successful evasion, if they fire bullets at you, you will take like half damage or something.
I already do that.
Huh? That's if you do an area save. I mean, this is a direct attack.
Okay.
If they shot
And,
bullet, you take half damage.
And as from what you could see, and from the last fight, those bullets fucking hit hard. I mean, they got some nice long range weapons that you're gonna need some help against. But it's only useful against actual bullet. He says specifically made to. These are specifically made. These are specifically made for ballistic weapons that Carlos is using, as well as health potions. The usual set of daggers, rope. Endless rope. Some more bags of holding. Little nicks and knacks. Continuing on. Anything else that you would like to do in this room?
So the Kevlar doesn't actually change our armor class then.
Nope.
Chance, no, not for you. You're all about evasion. You are a glass cannon, and I'm not going to take away the glass cannonness away from you. Otherwise, you'd be Jericho.
No, I never want to be Jericho.
Oh, however, you all get a no, that's not, can't do that. Never mind. It's too OP. Please continue. Anything else you want to do in the room?
No, it's not. Just give it to us.
Cool.
For a second, Thing was going to be petty and just decide that he was going to run a campaign of terror against this couple that were rude to him. I was going to ask, just out of curiosity, have we got is it indoor cabins that we've got, or is it the actual? Do we have a few? Is it balconies?
No, you're in the. I mean, you're under deck, so you have your own cabin under desk. You're in your own room. You have privacy. There is a portal that's showing the outside, and it's beautiful outside. The waves are going. The moonlight is shimmering off.
So more Zeppelin, less cruise liner. Then.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I mean, it's flying up into the cloud. It's flying near the clouds.
Okay.
So it stays far enough away from the ground for there's constant attacks from pirates, things like that. They're always on the monitor now. The guys outside are always looking at stuff. I mean, you can do a perception check of your own if you want.
No, I'm fine. That's as I said. I was just for a second. I was just going, Could I do like the William Shatner, like Twilight Zone? There's something on the wing, to that guy. And I go, nah. Let's just continue the story. That's me just be dragging this out.
All right.
Sorry,
So
I couldn't resist your typo there, Wooster.
dark vision.
That's
I
not
put
a
on the goggles and I
typo.
see Jericho better. Dark vision.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, that's actually pretty.
And that's not a typo. There is only dark vision or dog vision.
Well, usually whenever I put on I either get called Four Eyes or Dork Vision. Yeah, my Dork Vision. Very well. The camera, the camera zooms in as you're going off the list of things that she's given you, and you guys are still bickering here in the background. You guys are still bickering about stuff. The camera starts slowly zooming into the portal to show the ocean side and the far off distance. The cut to the airship just traveling.
Red line.
Yeah, and from on down underneath into point of view comes into point of view a big, dark, like pirate ship, and it's almost like surrounded by cloud, like a layer of fog floating in, and it's all in blacks, and it doesn't have sails or anything. There's just like moving within this fog, this big, massive ship, the far off distance seems to be trailing you. The camera fades that point of view, and now returns to that line going over the ocean until finally landing at finding purchase on another landmass. And the camera starts zooming in to as it's starting to get closer. You can see Vasselheim. Camera fades out. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
Good, because I need to pee.
Wow, this is why Steven Spielberg actually sends a complaint to us.
Don't care.
Sorry, we stole your thin red line. Oh no, that's a thin blue line. Never mind.
Mine's the orange. I said it.
Well then, we will see you at 10 past. Toodaloo, ladies and gentlemen.
I lose track of this every 5 minutes. I'm like, Dad,
Okay.
what? Dad, what? Dad, I have
Yes?
to go. Dad, like, okay, what?
Aw.
Killed them.
Well, that's what happens when real life gets in the way of fantasy
Real
time.
life gets in the
Exactly.
way.
Pretending to be a
fantasy.
vampire wizard. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And going into the holiest of holy cities. And as we return in the game, let's see.
I'm just going to mute myself just because this is actually heavenly and I don't want to freak people out.
His back hurts. He's been having back problems. It's sadness. You should also send sympathy and
dollars.
money to our Patreon, etc. It'll help make his back feel better, or worse, depending on what your intent is. I mean, in the meantime,
There's the
Well,
worst
yeah.
pile and there is a better pile. You can choose.
yeah. There'll be two. Donate to this, and it'll make his back worse. Donate to this, it'll make his back better. Let's see which one wins.
Baby back better.
Find out the
No,
results.
I think it's the worst pile just for some reason.
Actually, it's, I've seen that as like a tip jar, like tip here if you're for this, or tip here if you're against this. Returning to the game, however, the ship, airship slowly descending. Here, the time is showing time has passed. It's now close to daytime, early dawn, in the Dawn City. Approaching Vasselheim, the far great northwest. There's an icy chill on the deck of the ship. Icicles are starting to form. The Crew members are now coming out in thick furs. The ship is starting to approach in past the ocean line. The cold waves crashing against like this cliffside, that of this cliff that goes probably 100, maybe 1,000 feet higher. Plain land, and here it's where it's cold. It's very much rocky and cold everywhere, and foggy, and high up in the mountain area. The one from the point of view that the ship can see is the city plains leading up to it, almost like a slow slope. You can see now why this city has withstood the thousands of attacks, and it's primed in a position where on one side it's cliffside ocean approach very difficult. Its harbor far below, and a series of intricate roads leading up to the top of the city. On the far side, walls, thick walls surrounding it that are seeming unpenetrable except for a very specific area. And the camera now finally picks up its point of it, and we show the full city of Vasselheim, as dominating and awe-inspiring as the city of Vasselheim is. It's nothing in comparison to this gigantic mountain-size statue. Not really a statue, but from this point of view, it seems that way. What looks to be a land titan, a earth titan, down on one knee. His foot has already been penetrated this massive wall. It's almost like if you can imagine a person having walked up and tried just about kicking over a sandcastle. This is about the scale of what this is. The sandcastle being the actual city of Vasselheim. However, it stands motionless, one knee into the city and the rest of it out, as it's like a kneel, sitting, resting position, forever and ever, arms down, and where its head would be, a silver platter with what looks to be city spirals or the remnants of some lost city itself. That is the scale of this massive earth titan that got this close to the city of Vasselheim. The camera
I can
points
hardly
of
wait
view.
for the CGI.
This is all CGI. The camera points of view once again to your you guys on the deck of the ship itself, as you and hundreds of thousands of, I mean, not hundreds, you and the rest of the remaining crew and some of the members visiting, everybody in thick furs on the decks. There's probably about 10, 15 people out there looking down as one of the servants, the stewards, is explaining here. And Vasselheim has stood for hundreds of thousands of years, fought against all different invasions. They've survived all 4 calamities and have stood. This very last one, Vox Machina themselves stopped the advance of this Earth Titan. This is the closest thing that's ever come to destroying the city of Vasselheim. But our prayers held it back. But their prayers, they say, the legend says, held it back. And he starts droning on about, I warn everybody not to use any. They only like divine magics. While you're visiting, be wary of, and he's going on about, different, signing up to different religions, going through the rules, like, careful about this, that. The camera drones on and starts zooming in on your guys' cluster of reaction as you're approaching the city of Vasselheim. Anything that you'd like to say or do before we dock and arrive?
Start snoring after his speech about not doing things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, what? Yeah,
You just
sure,
see
sure.
Thing just nudge Chance every time he tries it.
He's like, keeps nudging you in the elbows to pay attention. Rules are rules. Listen to what it's saying. The ship comes in, docks, and there it docks at the top. It says whoever is at the skyport is the only section where they've accepted this arcane ship. You can see now they are greeted by a group of guards, and they explain that they're referred to as the Bastions, guards of the city. Each of these 8 districts have their own bastion, their own like militaristic guards that act both as guards and military protectors against the city. All 8 districts have their own slight little subtle sets of rules. This has often been described as a city that is divided yet united against all fronts. Different religions, different 8 different sections for different religions. You have the Talon's Reach, the Braving Grounds, the Braving Ground districts, the Quad Roads, the Abundant Terrace. Where you guys are arriving is the Dusk Meadow district. Anyways, you land on the very top, and it's snow and cold and coming down. Everybody seems hardy and pale skins, lots of thick furs. They're moving around with a purpose. You can see these are hardened, very hardened people that have lived through this climate. They take no shit. There amongst, as they start disembarking, that now familiar girl Sans the Pearl. She's like, "Don't worry, honey. We'll get you some new trinkets from here. I'm sure they have great jewelry here." I don't know. This was a gift from my grandmother. It's just like trailing off as the rest of the high-ranking people and the stewards are bringing down suitcases and things like that. You guys are seem to be the only ones that have carry-on that you are taking with you. Everybody else are allowing the stewards to take everything. Towards the bottom of the ramp, you could see you could see a woman that looks different than everybody else, where everybody's wearing thick furs and workman style clothing. She has a very bright white, thicker, luxurious, with a greenish top underneath it that spills through like a bright emerald green. Long, kind of like darkish reddish hair in pigtails tied to her side, and as she sees you all approaching, she waves her hand as a signal. Chance recognizes, or at least the description of Professor Lara Croft.
By the way, Feng, the first rule of my religion is rules are made to be broken.
Plus,
There is no second rule.
how do you? But if you break the first rule, that means all rules are to be followed.
Never mind. Guys,
So if you break the rules, you're following the rules, right?
guys, that's Lara. That's Professor Croft.
Fing just kind of leans down and he just whispers in Chan's ears. And as Stacy said, the first rule is you do not talk about Fight Club. And just leans back and just walks off.
Lara comes up to meet you. Australian. I like your hat, mate. Gentlemen. Aye.
Australian?
Howdy. Yeah, of course he's Australian. Lara Croft. From Down Under. Nice to meet you all. Welcome to Vasselheim. I was told to expect you by you-know-who. Luckily, there's a pub nearby that I happen to own. So, let's go there. We'll talk. Do you have any more belongings to bring with you?
We've got everything we came with. So no, I think we've got everything.
Fantastic. Follow me then. She starts leading you through the city. Again, it's cold and bitter, and you guys are wearing whatever cold weather gear is deems necessary for the moment. So you've been warned about the no use of magics here.
Unless they're within our religion.
Yeah, divine magics are free to use. You'll find there's cities full of them. Magic aplenty. In fact, many of these adventurers are usually going into Tharampala, and she points off into the distance that its mere shadow covers half of the city itself. As she points us to this ginormous Earth Titan that's just staying there motionless. In the vast battle versus Vecna, Vox Machina themselves had that battle just atop there. It was a narrow defeat, but between everybody in the city, the prayers, or so the legend says. They stopped it. However, inside are still hundreds of undead creatures, dangerous, unknowns, live within its titan itself. We send in explorers on occasion, to clear them out as much as we can, but up until recently, we've pretty much have sealed it off limits, but I've got special permission from Cord himself. Cord himself being where we're going, he's in charge of the braving grounds, you see. That's where we're going. That's where we're going to be staying at. Anyways, we have special permission from Cord himself to go inside and visit. Well, we'll talk more when we get there. She pulls up, and you can now see what this area seems more like an arena. From the outside is like these massive log poles set up in a circular fashion. Big giant gate made out of wood. Now open, interior to reveal an arena in the sand, and it's been cleared of all the snow, and there's like roped off section, and there's like a big blazing fire around the inside, and two fighters are there, bare knuckled, huge, muscular. In regardless of the snow, they're like going at each other, fighting. There's an onlooker of crowd, dressed in different leathers and furs, carrying weapons and doing a ha ha hurrah. The Braving Grounds is dedicated to the worship of Cord himself, and there's a massive statue of a warrior looking down, almost like imagine like the green giant looking down, barbarian. And we call the Cord leader the leader of the group. Cord himself is one of the gods here. Kind of, not really though. He's the protector of this area.
Shards or gods?
Both. It's their religion. Their religion is fighting, and Cord is their leader, statue, god. It's hard to explain, dude. I could tell you about it, but rule number one of Fight Club is there's no talking about Fight Club.
Just the accent. That's.
And she leads you into your quarters. She leads you past that there's like a section off into the plains where there is a stone and wood and like thick timbers, like a pub house, multi-storied pub house. And this is far off. She's like, I'll make most of my money here as a side business, with all the fighters. They're big drinkers, so yeah, we can just I run this off to the side, and it's a great area to keep all my artifacts that I find. We have, for the time being, you have full access to all your rooms here. And there you're led to an area where there's upstairs areas, lots of rooms. You're shown your individual quarters as necessary. You can put down your luggage. Underneath is an area where multi-layer area. On the bottom layer is where the dining area. A lot of tables. There's a big bar in the corner, massive bar with liquor bottles. And he leads you into another section. behind the bar area. Where there's like a couple of trapdoor things. It's like, if I ever need to hide you, come down here, meet me here. Our secret little area where I keep a lot of things. He closes back up and puts a rug on top of it and then moves a crate on top of it as well. Right now, there's nobody. It's completely empty. Outside, you could still hear, I mean, in the far distance, you could hear a lot of background walker-bys, things like that. She leads you to a center of a table, and she rolls out a giant map and sets down like these weird little artifacts that, like statuettes or metallic things that are on odd shapes, 4 to each side to keep the map holder. She's using these artifacts or weird things as paperweights at the moment. And here it's a roughly hand-drawn thing of like legend speaks of the room with shadows, deep within the heart of the Earth Titan. There we can find a room and with an artifact that I have, and she holds out like a Kaltur. What is that you have again?
An astro globe.
She has a near identical astro globe as what you have. Is that broken or not moving? You know how yours does this little twirly thing? Hers is stationary. And how yours is like, describe more in detail yours.
Kaltur's is like it's about so big, and it's made out of like, it's like completely made out of like, if you say, I think it's platinum. I would say
Platinum, yes.
Completely
And
made
it
out
has-
of platinum. And it's like small gems that are kind of inlaid into it. And when it spins, you don't see actually. It's almost like none of the surface are actually connected to anything. It's like it's where it should be like, a screw here or a gear here, so that way it spins. It seems to spin like by magic. It just magically spins, and nothing's actually connecting any of the components together that causes it to read.
The camera fades out from your description, fades into her as overlay of this one and showing the stark difference between the two. This one looks similar, but it's not moving, and it's the platinum things, they're actually touching and they're just like held in place, and you can see where there's that gap where it would normally be everywhere else. She says, with this sphere, and in the sense, she said, with this sphere, I should be able to control. That I should be able to use it to control the actual Chamber of Secrets. The Chamber of Shadows. What I call it, the Room of Shadows, the Chamber of Shadows.
The Room of Shadows, I think you said.
Yeah. What was it?
Room of Shadows, wasn't it?
The Room of Shadows. I'm going to call it the Chamber of Shadows. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Chamber of Shadows.
As long as it's not the Chamber of Secrets, that's copyright painted, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. I just want to change it.
But Kaltur like looks at it and says, will the magic return to it once we're in the chamber, or you still have to figure that portion out?
No, this is the bit. I've got it. This is what we need. It's the key.
Yeah, but I mean, you said it doesn't look like it's working, right? This is GM talking to player talking to GM.
It does not. She seems unaware that it's not working. Like you can tell the sense that
I'll bring mine down and say it doesn't do this, and I'll just like let it spin freely in the air.
Her eyes light up as like, oh my.
Hold on, like, okay, I'll stop it because I don't want to get killed for using magic.
Where did you get that? How did you get that?
I've been around for a long time.
You just hear a thing interject. Yeah, he likes to get around. That's for sure.
But there's only one in existence. I know for a fact. I've done all my research. This here is the Illumisphere. It's exactly what all the legends have. Can you show me yours again, please?
He'll like furrow his eyebrows, but like begrudgingly go, well, send it afloat.
One of you, whoever's proficient in this, roll me some Arcana.
Yeah, definitely not me.
I will assist.
I mean,
Begrudgingly, but I will
Man,
assist.
my Arcana is garbage today. Wait a minute. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. I rolled very low.
Jeez, you're rolling on a +8.
And you said you were. Oh, you were going to assist.
Jericho
that
was
means
gonna
that.
assist.
So with the assist, you want him to. Well, obviously, that means roll with advantage. So okay, good.
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't matter. You passed the first fairy of 13.
Okay.
Yours is a very specific pattern. I mean, you know this thing like the back of your hand. There's even a nick on the corner of yours where it looks like at some point something that it has a nick where metal seems to have actually hit it, and even though it's perfect in every way, there's a little nick line that a manufacturing defect on yours. You looked for that same defect on the one that Professor Croft is carrying, and it's there as well.
They're twins.
Okay. I will be like, okay, well, let me theorize here. While I know I look fabulous,
He's older.
That's
by
his
your
theory.
standards, I'll be right around 700 years old. If I'm not mistaken, when I was looking for the shard that you all lost initially, time probably went kind of out of sync. So this is mine's, but that is also mine. It's just this is mine's from the time I came from, when I was still alive.
Huh. That theory makes sense. There's been many description in the books about that, but I mean, time travel? Is that possible?
I would say less time travel, more out of sync with my own time.
Then how did this one get to be broken?
Well, that's probably this one just ahead of itself. Like this, like me and this are from, 700 years ago. Well, not 700, about.
So sometime
400
in the
years ago.
future, your globe is going to break, but when it breaks, it'll go back in time so that Lara can find it in her past.
I would venture to say that I died. She found it, and since the shard brought me back, it brought back everything I had with me at that time.
Well, there's a simple way to ascertain this.
Which is the first thing we need is a DeLorean.
And with that, there's a slap on the head from Feng. He's just going to
I'm
go.
staying away from Fang. He's dangerous.
He's just going to go, this item. And he points at the one that Lara has. Where did you find that?
I found them deep in the mines of Craghammer.
Well, we're nowhere near Craghammer ourselves, where we found you, Kaltur.
You're in the opposite way. Craghammer is Dwarf City.
Yeah,
and it's more north. where we found Kaltur was deep south at the at Nua Noir, the jungles of Nua Noir.
700 years is a long time to move a single orb.
I mean,
Sure.
Maybe it went into orbit.
it could always be hers, but I doubt she would just lose.
With she's now inspecting it, and she's like, "Look here, the nick. This is the wonderful fiction. This is the thing that I thought, and you have it as well." And she's like, "And it's like it's lost charge, or it's broken somehow, but it's the same. I know it. I feel it, like a sense of deja vu, like I've always known it." Anyways,
Can you
She
use
puts us
one orb
away.
to charge the other?
we need in that case, we need yours to control the chamber of shadows. Once there, the theory that I've come up with is going to reveal all of the spirit shards throughout all of Exandria, almost like a glowing map. It'll point us to where the rest of them are, and hopefully, with that, it'll confirm the suspicions that I've been having about what Alura's been telling me of this nemesis of yours, Carlos. I think he's amassing power, and he needs more to bring something big, to unlock something into this world.
Perhaps
I
he's
don't
trying
know
to
what to-
unlock this giant Titan thing.
Then he'd be here.
Well, not if he hasn't. He's still collecting these shards.
I mean, how much power does one shard have?
Enough to fuck with time.
Yeah, it's hard to quantify.
Yeah.
Any time that's ever been broken, it has created havoc and completely destroyed the person. It'd have to be.
What?
No person has ever survived one of these being broken in their presence, ever.
Allure
I
mentioned.
beg to differ. We all did.
Really?
And like Fang just.
You see a blank look on her face, like, that's impossible.
Fang just like turns to Chance to say, "Do you want to shout that any louder?"
We're in an enclosed room and nobody else can hear.
Perfectly private. The entire bar has been shut down, doors closed, there's nothing happening on here.
Yeah, Fang's just paranoid.
Oh no.
Also, you're out of focus all of a sudden.
I know. Well,
Feng is blathering all.
I mean,
the
you look
time.
better when you're unfocused, I'm just saying.
I know. Hold on. Let me see what's happened here.
Oh, I thought it was my eyes.
So did I. I thought I was just squinting in agony there for a moment.
Hmm. It was all your goggles doing. It was the dog vision.
Are there? I think it's just the autofocus acting up.
So she's talking and she's describing, I've got special permission from the guards, for the bastions to allow us inspection and travel, not to Thar Ampala, but into the actual heart of the Earth Titan. That's more Australian. Once in a point of view, it's like you're seeing like a series of tunnels, offshoots, a lot of barriers, like do not enter, things like that. Past that, she's describing like this room, and it seems all like almost celestial overview. And there in the center, there's a dais with just a dais like this, with hands out, support like so, in this exact fashion, like if my hands were a statue. And she's
The
describing
conveniently orb-sized configuration.
very much so, very much so.
Fuck, that hurt.
Oh no, we're all broken. We're all broken, and you could see like her placing it into it, and it once it sits, it sits on it, and then in her mind, she's describing it as it starts spinning, spinning, spinning faster, bright light, and then back fade into where she's finishing off, and from there, it's going to reveal us the locations of the rest of the spirit shards. But what if saying is true? And if they're breakable and somehow you've absorbed its power? Then maybe that's what Carlos is looking after as well. But how much power? And how much power can he gain? What have you noticed differences since that's happened?
Question.
Shoot.
Kang has gotten grumpier.
I have not.
See?
There. I think that is more based on me meeting you than anything else, Chance. I definitely have my hairs went grayer ever since I've met you.
Not as gray as Jericho's.
Yeah, that's the only consolation there. Allura was saying the story that people said that these shards are the remains of a god.
That is the current theory as well. It's what my research has found.
What if all the shards were to be brought together?
Resuscitating the god?
Maybe not resuscitating the god, more about taking the power for oneself.
Wow.
Assume the mantle, so to speak, if it's still available.
If that was to happen, then there wouldn't be a mage in the entire world that could stand up against him.
Now there'll be gods that would potentially stand against them.
We have weapons to defeat gods. A lot of them have been kept safe for their power are just too strong. Vox Machina, the last to wield, and a few others that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
They are kept under strict guard, and we track them throughout the world. If necessary, we try to assemble to stop it. In fact, I think Allura is gathering allies and strengthening her army for just such an occasion.
Oh, she's gathered armies, that's for sure.
The threat is real, and we're getting preparation. Luckily for you, you're not to be involved in any of that. Your whole role here is just a recon mission. Find out where the rest of them are, and that's it. We'll report back to her.
So we're the 8th preparation.
She always has plans against plans against plans. She's a smart one, that lady.
I was not trying to make that joke, Blink.
What? I missed it. What'd she say?
So we're preparation H.
Well, I mean, that's a bit much. You guys must be weary from your travels. But before break, do you have any questions?
What is the current climate in the city?
It's cold.
No.
Very cold.
When I mean climate, I'm not meaning
Political climate?
Political climate. Thank you. Yeah. Political, social climate. That's what I was meaning, not climate. Climate.
Not meteorological climate.
Yeah. I was going to say, what is the temperature? But again, it's me using the same terminology. But yeah.
What kind of shit's going on in the city?
Yeah, basically, because let's be honest.
The Cobalt Soul is currently seems to be the district in charge at the moment. followers. They are less religion and more monk studiers, philosophers, and making sure things are on the balance. They've come recently, have made great gains since the adventures of the Mighty Nine. Their prestige has increased in the presence, and this is a big conflict against the remaining 8 districts who have been in power for the millennium. They're almost like the newcomers. They're getting strong and they're getting very popular. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think what has really been a problem is the remnants, those followers of Vecna and the Darker Gods. We've wiped out most of them here in the city. Most. The last remaining are spies and hard to suss out. They're still around, but attacks are rare. And I can only attribute a few disappearances to this. The normal bastions don't really believe me, or at least they claim not to for the public's sake, but Arcanum Pensafico informs me that they are still present in the city.
And is there any indication? Sorry, this is where, not the remnant. What was the
clasp?
The clasp. Thank you. Is there any indication or known operatives of the clasp in the city?
Not here. No, the clasp have absolutely no power here. We've seen none of their presence.
How about the myriad?
There is a bit of a myriad presence here. How do you know that name?
I'm very well traveled.
This being a religious and conservative city, they don't like things out of the ordinary. They're very wary of strangers and anything arcane, obviously. Somehow the myriad have managed to infiltrate and stay on the down low. But we've heard many rumors of black market trade going on here. A lot of artifacts from the Vasselheim make its way out. We don't know how. We suspect they have somebody in with she's thinking the airship company that you came in from. Did you notice anything strange or out of the ordinary there? Anybody acting funny? Things disappearing in the night? Fights?
The only fights seem to be between Fang and a couple of the other travelers.
There was some people that disagreed by heritage.
Oh?
They don't think that an half-orc should be in the presence of polite society.
Don't think you'll find such prejudices here. They are very accepting people. They have to be. But, as I said, they're conservative in their ways. Very lawful. That's interesting. Whom were these people?
Did we get their names?
I didn't get their names. I was more concentrating on trying not to hurt the foe. But well dressed.
Well, regardless, I have suspicions that that the Myriad are using the airship to transport relics away from here. Unconfirmed, of course. The Bastions won't do anything about it. Well,
I wouldn't be surprised. The security on that ship worth every penny that the company pays for.
Yeah, they are a well-armed group.
Mhm.
They're one of the few companies around that are allowed to carry the rifles. Gunpowder is strictly forbidden throughout many nations. Here in Vasselheim, they have special permission as well to keep it, but only within the bastion. They clamp down on any illegal arms here in the city. Only the few of the bastion trained in such weaponry can use them. But I know for a fact that the airship mercenaries or guards or stewards, however they are, that they carry. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. And she takes a mental note.
I can confirm that. I saw the rifles locked away up Oregon.
Hmm.
And they did have hand weapons of
Oh,
some
yes,
kind while they
those-
were on, while they were
Flint
doing their
blocks, I
duties.
think they're called, aren't they?
Yes. Well, any other questions you may have?
Do we have a clue as to what class Clara is?
Tomb Raider. Didn't
Yeah.
you know?
She's a
Sorry.
fighter. She's both a well, if you start explaining her actions, on occasion I have to fight him. The only way you have to go. I started off as a young gal, as a rat catcher, doing odd jobs here and there, learning how to use the weapons, swords, protecting people from, little monsters around the city. But eventually, we found I got involved with a group of raiders, dungeon raiders, the usual norm. Go in, see if we could find some relics. And I started finding lots and taking notes of all the ancient civilizations. I found a good capability of doing that. I was very good. And she's like, shows you like the walls here to this bar are filled with like just books, ancient history books. I've amassed quite a collection. Most of the dungeon raiders, they collect a few books.
Just to save you some time, what I was looking for was, does she have any of the game? Does she have any magical abilities that might come in handy in identifying people from objects? I know I'm being very specific. Okay.
She has. She's a non-magic user. She's obviously just a historian, collector, but she's a fighter. I mean, you've heard legends from her that she's one of the top dungeon raiders around.
Okay.
A Tomb Raider even.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a show.
That's her nickname.
Yeah. I would like to ask if I can see the astrolabe one more time. I just want to double one thing. Check one thing with hers. Check one thing.
She pulls it out again and she opens up the box where she's keeping the velvet, etc., etc. And it's there in the box in the velvet thing. She lays it on the table and just does a little.
Okay. As I go to her, how many of these people right here are watching me? Right.
I'd say thing is that she walked over, like if there's like a window like overlooking like the street, he's like people
We're
watching.
underground. I don't think we're gonna...
Okay. I would like to
No, we're in the normal level. It's fine.
I would like to arch over it, kind of like cup over my hands over it. And like the little sphere that's like in the middle of the astral globe. I want to see if that, because there's something in it. I want to see if it turns and opens up.
On yours or hers?
On hers. Mine's does. That's hers.
Roll me an Arcana, and the DC is high.
To see if hers opens up?
Yeah. Does yours open up?
Yes.
Roll me an Arcana to see if how well you could do it.
Because I know mine's opens up and there's something there. I just want to see if hers is is if it's mine's. I want to see if hers opens up too.
Did you roll or not yet?
Yeah, not yet. 21.
Imagine the natural one. Oh, I should have put it at disadvantage. That would have been awesome. Like you've done this 1,000 times. Click, click, click.
Okay.
And exactly what you expect to be there
Is there?
is missing.
Is missing.
Tell us what's normally there.
Normally, you would see a there's a like a it looks like a small coin, but it's just a black disc that has like a very purple border around it.
100% missing.
Okay. For those of you who are not hip to D&D lore, it's the symbol of Shar. A not good deity at all.
I
we're
recognize the name.
And we're looking for shards.
No.
So is that
Well, no,
in relation?
it's good, and it's bad that it's not. It's bad that it's not in there because, I mean,
It's
It's
why
good
it's
when
not
it's in my
working.
hands. It's not good when it's in someone else's hands.
it's good and it's not in there because I wouldn't want one of these guys to make a religion check and realize that Kaltur worships an evil aligned deity.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
So it's okay that it's not in there, but it's bad because now he's like,
But now you know why it's not working.
because surprise audience, that's who Kaltur has been doing shit for. He's not a good guy.
He seems like an okay guy to me.
I can't wait to kill you off.
It's fine. That's what I'm here for.
As the music as the ominous music comes in as it slowly zooms in on the empty, and the juxtaposition of the many times shown in on the screen itself. If you open it up and finding the symbol of thing, camera zooms in on your worried face, fades into showing the outside as well of the snow covered thing. Now at this point, night is coming down. It's buckets of heavy snow are coming falling out. The only interior on the inside is nice and yellow as the fire is making some nice patterns on the window. The camera pulls out some more, and there's like 3 or 4 or 5, 6 dark silhouettes clumping together. What could seems the obvious silhouette of weaponry, as these silhouette shadows move out of the camera's point of view into like a bit of the snow, and start like subtly approaching and then disappear off screen with the last words of Lara Croft. As the first floor that you're on, the lights are on. The second floor lights turn on, almost like she's carrying a torch from one spot to spot, and you can hear the subtle voice, her subtle voice going, "Well, these are your rooms. I suppose I'll see you in the morning then. Have a well-rested night. Don't worry, you're on a safe spot. Nothing can get you here." The scene starting to fade out. We'll continue this next time
On Shards of Destiny.
Which will be
Also-
when,
Also, yeah, we should talk about that now.
Yeah. Because I think we agreed we're off next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna be helping my brother move from one
Yep.
house to another house, so I want to give him all the time that he needs, and he takes priority because family first.
Fair enough. But I think we were discussing actually continuing with Shards
next
at
month.
least for next month.
Because I know there's gonna be plenty of summer weekends that we're gonna be busy.
Okay, so but realistically, that means Carlos will be gone for 1 week in July, and you'll be gone for another week in July. So that's 2 weeks where we're all together.
Yep.
3 technically because there's a late.
Is that a 5 week?
5 weeks this one? Okay. You don't know.
Yes,
I might be
it
the
is.
week. I might be done the week after that.
You don't know.
No,
We'll find out, folks.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Next time on.
Yeah, Shards of Destiny.
Yeah.
I left it on a half cliffhanger with danger approaching in your sleep, obviously.
Yeah. This is our breed. That's it. This is breed.
I like 25% wanted that thing to be in there, and to Wooster's for Jericho to see it. I like 25% wanted. I'm like, no, it's okay.
I just want that character to die.
No,
That's he's king, I suppose.
I love this conflict that's happening now. Welcome to my world, Jericho.
I'm on Kaltur's side the whole way.
Yeah. Kaltur has said nothing that's technically wrong. Because that is the I kind of look at it this way. Jericho is like Superman, daisies and whatever, like, hey, good is good, bad is bad. But Kaltur always has that kind of like Batman mindset, like, no, people are fucked up, period. You know what I mean? You only say it's good because it fits your story.
Kaltur's playing it as lawful evil. He's playing it the lawyer route.
I mean,
I like the conflict, and more importantly, this is where character development happens.
What? Character development on to die for?
I have this objection to both Fang and Jericho because, well, they're the law, and in theory, I'm outside the law. In theory. And
no, you're outside the law.
No, in theory. And then there's the religious side of it, which is like Jericho is this, religion, very powerful, yes. Okay, I apologize for that horrid accent. And Kaltur thinks that's a load of funk.
Ooh.
And I'm more on Kaltur's side on this case. So yeah, there we go. 2 reasons to be on Kaltur's side.
No, because Kaltur's a religious person. He just doesn't think that religion should be the end justifies the means. Like, because my God says do this, we do this. No.
So even though it's almost like Laura said, not all black is pure black. There's white in the black, and there's black in the white.
Yeah.
Say it's the man,
but he does have evil
fallen through on the orders of his God.
Hey man. Hey, she lets me do what I want to do, so he has no problem with it. He's like, you know what?
She's just very carefully manipulated you. There's a difference.
Well, Kaltur's, no surprise. Kaltur is neutral evil, and his God is neutral evil.
Yeah,
we do what fucking benefits us.
Yeah.
Every time I run this campaign, it's the first time I ran this. They were all complete strangers. They're all prisoners. Or all like being like the Suicide Squad running this. The Suicide Squad with all of you guys had the necklace that would blow your head. It was against your will. Spirit shards happen. You guys are part of the thing now. And there's always been such ridiculous party conflict. It's amazing. That's why I love this campaign.
I never get to play an evil character. I never get to play an evil character. So I say, you know what? I'm doing it this time. I'm playing an evil character.
I'm in.
This is the thing. I don't, because this is the argument, is I don't see that there is an issue with playing potentially evil or morally objectionable character. It's just there has to be a reason for them to be interacting and potentially, working alongside the rest of the group. there.
Because Allura thinks she got my balls in a vice. That's why I'm playing nice. Allura's like, no, I'll fuck you up, man, if you don't help. I'm like, well, all right.
He knows it too.
Yeah, it's again. You think you're it's a secret you're a vampire. I know. I've got the book on you, mate.
Yeah, you're well to fear Allura. I mean,
Mhm.
she's very mysterious, very powerful, very tricksy, as you've all seen, and very manipulative. She's no joke.
Talking about Suicide Squad, you know the reason why Suicide Squad became a thing in DC?
No.
It was to actually explain what you think about. Like, you have your superheroes forever capturing the bad guys, and they're being put into supermax prisons.
Yes.
It was to
Yes.
explain why they were forever out of the supermax prisons.
Otherwise, they'd all
Because-
be one shots.
Well, it was because it would just make they couldn't have them break out of prison all the time because it would just
Oh,
become.
you mean like Batman?
Oh, like Arkham Asylum, yeah. It was to try and stop it being a mockery.
Yeah.
There, it was to actually given those escapes were not just though they were getting aided by the actual government. You've done a few jobs for us.
So instead of having very smart criminals with very smart escape plans, they had a very stupid government.
Basically, yes.
Okay, that makes sense. It's
Or
basically
manipulative.
America.
What's that? What's that old? Oh, there's an old phrase. Don't. Well,
Don't attribute
No,
to
your
malice
enemy-
what you
keep
can
your enemies
attribute to
close.
stupidity.
No, yeah, that's no. What Wooster said. What is that
Don't
again?
attribute to malice what you can sign on for stupidity.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the
Nice.
one. Thank you, sir.
They're not
That's
being
why I
bad, they're
say
being dumb.
USA is not evil. We're just stupid.
Yeah.
Point taken.
The true evilness is making people believe it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What would you guys have felt if instead of taking you here, I took you back into the portal of Earth again, the Fey realm?
I don't know.
I did the Fey realm bit already.
Yeah.
This is more.
I don't know.
This is more traditional. I
I
promise
don't
you guys
know.
traditional.
I favor this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always feel awkward when you like there's like I don't know. It's just me. Too much modern stuff in a fantasy setting.
I think there's this is the issue. It's like people say when they think D&D, they think a certain type of fantasy.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm thinking modern and I'm thinking fantasy, I think more something like Dresden Files. Okay.
Mm.
I don't.
Or
I don't know.
or for the
I
kids
don't
movies,
have.
Vampire
Yeah, I don't have a
Diaries, stuff
problem.
like that.
I don't have a problem with it. I guess is like. Don't be like, hey, you only get a sword and a bow and arrow, and then this guy over here comes at you with a fucking gat. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, he's got a tank. I've got a sword.
He's got a tank and I can't even get a full blade man. God dang it.
Again, that's the conflict.
He has a
That's
tank
it.
and I have a
Dressing
bicycle.
dressing up the ante.
At least with Dresden is like, I have magic, but I also
Yes.
have a knife.
So
it's
what's
fine.
funny is that the original campaign that I ran for just Wooster and John was it was like, hey, you go out there. The first guy that you're going to go up against was Carlos,
Yeah.
gangbanger, boyfriend of Stacy, but Jericho did something so completely different. Like, all right, well now he can no longer be the Nemesis introductory bad guy here. And then I instead like, oh, I know he'll be the right hand man of what's the name? But I was gonna literally do what you said, like, oh yeah, here's a gun right in your face versus your sword. What you gonna do, fucker?
I'm just gonna flee.
And as we said, Mythbusters proved that if you're close enough, the sword or the knife is just as valid weapon.
Yeah.
I like better than I'm challenging you with weapons from the Fey world instead.
Yeah. I mean, like I don't like challenge. It's just the one thing is like,
Just wait till I bring the tank.
It says it should always be a possibility that it should be also be able to shoot you with.
We'll have to remember
Where
that
the fuck is
later.
our guns?
We'll have to remember
At any
that,
point,
later,
at any
Carlos.
point, you have been able to
We can
grab them,
disarm.
use them. You're just not proficient with them.
It's just been the main issue, I think, was the last time Thing, handled a shotgun. He nearly killed himself in the party.
That's right. So we all need to get the feat. It's a feat. There is a feat where you get gun proficiency.
We just
We
need
need
to
firearm
go back to the
proficiency.
Feywild, get our do the gun proficiency course, get our certificate.
Give ourselves some magic tubes on our shoulders.
That's why you're doing it all wrong, Kaltur. You don't use your feet, you use your hands.
For the record, Stacy has been teaching these fools on gun. I mean, she's very proficient with the guns herself, so she's been like, "Oh, you guys are using flintlocks? What the fuck? Let me show you how it's done here." And
Yeah.
You dumbass.
Welcome to my friend Walter.
And
This
my
is
other
Cole,
friends,
and this is
Smith,
Walter.
And this is Smith and Wesson.
These are my two
Exactly.
friends, Dez and Troy. Yeah.
So, I mean,
And when I bring out the big guns, I bring out his bigger brother, Magnum.
oh boy, yes. So there's possibility for that.
Yeah. So
I haven't
Walter is
said
PPK
no
and
to that.
Yeah.
Magnum is PI. Yeah. Okay.
As I
My,
said,
my,
this
my
has been a
prepared
really good
combo
thread
is
against you guys.
Heckler and Koch. So
Heckler and Koch. Yes.
And the MP5.
Coke. Heckler and Coke. And MP5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's their
I don't know how to respond
Nice
to that
most
most
popular.
Nice little submachine gun.
anyway, I think we are about done with bantering today.
Yeah, we're getting
Yeah.
little.
We're getting way off topic.
I'm partial when it comes to weaponry is the P90.
I don't like guns.
I don't like guns.
I'm from
It's
Canada.
just-
We don't have guns.
I mean, Malone loves fucking guns. Carlos does not.
No.
Yeah, but isn't that dangerous? Don't you get shot when you do that?
Dude, these are the only guns I need right here.
Ooh.
Badass.
Right. Do you have a license for those for an open carry?
Dude, I'm Latino. Fuck no, I don't.
If he tried to apply it, he would get arrested for planning something.
With that, folks, bonus nachos. Bonus nachos.
Nachos, alley-oop.
Night, Froggy.